Good morning, everybody. Heidel Ball is just around the corner. There will also seem that they cooked some nice drops. 15 hours watch time though, so it's going to be a stretch. But let's see what they are cooking on the ball itself, shall we? Should be starting anytime soon. Anytime now. I wonder which channel should we take. Usually making these things in like Valencia sites. Why in the Valencia channels, sorry. We shall try Valencia. Maybe Balenos 5. Let's go to Balenos 5. It's one of my guild channels. We'll probably go as my Nova here. There we go. Let's hide the trash loot for now, shall we? Black Desert, okay. Well, so far not much is really happening, is it?
세렌디오, 찬란한 영광을 위하여.
Those voices are the actual Heidel Ball sort of weird animations that we've already seen like multiple times.
Hello everyone and welcome to Heidel Ball
Oh my god, you're loud.
2025. My name is CM Endlave,
You are
I'm
loud.
your hosts, and joining me today is CM Kazaka and CM Knox.
Hello, I'm CM Kazaka, and I'm super excited to be here. Let's have some fun today.
Yeah.
Hello, Adventurers. I'm Sam Knox, and we're excited, I think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It is time. It is an absolute pleasure to be here with you all.
And
Chat. I hope
like,
you're
you
very
are
excited.
so loud.
We've got a lot of exciting stuff on the way today. I am very excited. Obviously, we know what's going to go on and how it's going to work today. If it's your first time at a Heidel Ball or a Calphian Ball, essentially we have our jobs is going to pretty much go over the updates that have been said in Korean, and we will be basically telling you what it is in English as best and clearly as possible. So we do hope that we'll do our best, and yeah, just sit back, relax, and type Woggy Woggies and chat whenever you guys are happy with an update. But yeah, we're really excited, guys, so it's going to be awesome. Absolutely.
Today's stream will be kind of splitting the roles of each of the MCs.
Yeah.
And, if we'll try our best, of course, to make sure we're translating as seamlessly as possible, but we hope you understand that it is a live broadcast, and there's always chance for misunderstanding. So
The odd
I
bit of
think
ad lib.
we're bringing our guests on stage, so let's
Yeah.
transition back.
Okay. Let's take a look.
And on stage, we're welcoming our Eds Chasuk and Wonsu.
Hello, I'm Jesok Chang, head of Black Desert Live Service. He's ad-libbing.
And I'm Wansu Yang, head of Black Desert Game Design.
It's been 6 months since we last saw you. How have you been?
Okay, let's do it like this then.
Me too. I've been working hard getting ready for today.
There's a little bit of ad-libbing here where they're
Yeah,
joking, like,
this
"Oh, you're looking
is the part.
good."
Sometimes we might go ahead
Yes.
a line or two, chat,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Coming from the future.
that's because of the ad-lib.
So something special about this Heidel Ball is not actually occurring in the capital region, but on Daejeon actually.
Up until now, the ball has always been held in the capital region, and honestly, seeing adventurers travel long distances just to attend always left me feeling a bit sorry. So we've been wanting to hold a ball in a different region for a long time, and today we finally made it happen, right here in Daejeon, the heart of Korea. It feels really special, and more than anything, I want to sincerely thank all of you who came out in person today. we've got a lot of exciting summer updates to share with you. So whether you're here with us on site or tuning in online, I hope you enjoy the show and have a great day.
And we just had a video of Adania, and we're officially unveiling it today.
That's right, we're officially unveiling it today.
Adania, at last, I think. I think a lot of our adventurers have been waiting. And
That's right, we know many of you have been waiting, so we've been working very hard to bring it to life. We hope today's announcements will be exciting for everyone.
I think
Mm,
we can all
for
say
sure,
that we're
for
all
sure.
hyped. But I think today's video had scenes from the old main quest, and it did bring back memories, but were there any deeper meaning to
Well, I
that?
wouldn't say it's anything too symbolic, but Adania is actually the final chapter in Black Desert's Act 1, so we just wanted to take a moment to look back on the journey so far.
When this video starts in Adania, and time seems to rewind all the way back to the ancient stone chamber, what's the meaning behind that?
That was intentional. It's a symbolic way to set the tone for today's updates. The new region, Edania, is meant to be a new pinnacle, a destination to strive for. In the past, we've designed new regions to be as accessible as possible, so that more adventurers could enjoy them. But this time, it's different. Even veteran players will find Edania challenging, right from the start. You'll need real growth, real preparation to go deeper. It's not just another expansion, it's a true end-game region. We want it to feel like a place you look at and think, one day, I want
I
to
see.
go there. And I'm going to make to conquer that place and make it
Come
mine.
to think of it, previous regions like Mooring Light were quite beginner-friendly too.
Yeah, I'm going
Why start
fishing.
today's
This
update
sucks.
story back at the ancient stone chamber.
The ancient stone chamber is the symbolic starting point of every adventurer's journey. So today's update follows the same path, starting as a rookie, getting used to the game, growing step by step, and eventually reaching Edania. We'll be presenting updates for every stage of the journey, with something meaningful for everyone, for newcomers to veterans.
Ah, I see it now. So today's theme is all about the road to Adania, a journey step by step. I think I like that. But I have to ask, is there no new class announcement today?
Yeah, give us hammers. That's what we all care about.
The
There's
clip.
been rumors flying around, I think everyone's seen it. And people seemed almost sure it was going to be Wukong.
The ad-lib is
Oh yes, we
Alright,
do
the
have a
monkey
new
boy.
character. Last winter, I made my debut alongside Deadeye as a new class myself, if you remember. And today, we've prepared another new class, but we'll be saving that for the very end of today's reveal.
It's
It's been 6 months, so I guess I'm an old class now.
all right. Now I guess we'll hand the stage over to you both, and then they'll be sharing all the updates.
Shall we begin? Let's begin, chat. Let's get ready. Let's prepare at the beginning.
As Jessup mentioned earlier, today's Heidel Ball is all about the adventurer's journey in Black Desert, from the ancient stone chamber all the way to Edania. There are 4 main chapters covered, each with its own theme. So let's jump into chapter 1.
Okay, the journey begins. Chapter 1. I'd like to begin today's reveal under the theme, The Journey Begins. We chose the theme because we wanted to share the excitement of starting a new game, helping new adventurers starting in the game filled with this anticipation.
I can't wait
Yes,
to start
because
this 10 years
to
old
the
game.
world is something
10 years old new
considered
game.
very important. So, we've been offering various benefits and tracking how effective they are. But we noticed an interesting pattern this year. While those who adapted quickly grew at an impressive pace, there were still many who struggled to get familiar with the game. a clear divide in player experience. So, going forward,
The,
we
the
want to
chat is going R R R R R.
journey
They want
and
to they want to
focus
skip this
improving
quest
areas
text, by the
that
way.
are lacking or confusing. Chat, stop spamming now. Come on, this is important stuff. So I'd first like to talk about UI improvements. One of the most common feedback from new adventures
I cannot
is that
skip
there's
yet.
too much information
I
on the
haven't been
screen.
following
In
for 10
particular,
minutes.
notifications
I
about
must have
items
unfollowed
or
somehow.
items constantly pop up at the top of the screen and overwhelm the players. And the world map displays so many icons and functions at once, making it difficult for new adventurers to navigate the map through this sea of info, let alone figure out how to use them. So, the first improvement is the upper screen notifications. We're separating usual notifications from unnecessary ones, ensuring that the new adventurers aren't overwhelmed and only see what they truly need. For example, things that are not needed in the early parts of the game, such as other adventurers' items.
Guys, this is not your morning stand-up. This is not your morning dev stand-up. We don't care.
Info required for progress, such as Black Spirit notifications, will be enabled by default. We also know that the veteran adventurers must have found the top notifications inconvenient at times. For example, after a long cooking session, all the cooking complete messages would flood the screen at once. Or when multiple world bosses appeared simultaneously, the notifications could get mixed up and confusing. We will address these issues as well as through this update. The top notifications will be synchronized with your most recent actions to prevent the notifications from piling up and display instantly. And their effect has also been shortened and
I didn't
up
find
to
anyone in Heidel, by the way. I met there 2
Additionally,
people in the
several
castle.
issues related
Nobody
to
is watching
individual
according
effects.
to the event
On top of
plans.
this, in response to popular demand, you'll be able to enable and disable guild members' enhancement notifications on your screen and chat.
So we can now disable everybody but still laugh at our friends. That's it. That's neat. That's
Next,
neat.
I would like to introduce the improvements to the world map UI. We think even veteran adventurers will really appreciate this one. You'll be able to see where your old family characters are directly on the world map at a glance. Before, if you wanted to check where your alts were, you had to open the endgame menu or go to the character selection screen. Some players even replace their portraits with world boss images to see where they are parked. Now you can simply click Manage Family Character icon at the top right of the world map to check their locations anytime.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty
Basically,
nice,
you can just see
actually.
everything on the world map now.
Guys, I've slept like 3 hours and I woke up early for
Take a
this.
look at the video.
I remember my sacrifice, okay? I'm doing this for you.
There's a new button. Oh, it shows kind of all your
okay.
characters in a list.
Oh my god, look at that. It's a world map.
Oh,
Wow.
that's nice.
They are really cooking. That's... wow. That's something.
We like that.
So
Yeah.
those things are displayed by region.
You like this and life, yeah? It's
That's
Nice
nice quality of
information.
life.
it's so cool. Yeah. I don't know what any of that is.
So like each region has like a number and that shows how many characters there are.
Oh, nice.
As we saw in the video, all your family characters' locations are displayed by region and can also be clearly seen on the world map. They will be grouped together as you zoom in and out. And selecting a character from the list on the right instantly moves the camera to their location. If the characters are grouped together, they will be highlighted with an effect.
Somebody in chat is asking Tam Kench nerf when. You know, I kinda understand.
Found in the escape endgame menu will be available here too. Even the character's energy stacks and mounts can be viewed from the character list on the right. Their inventory can also be seen by selecting them from the list, and this is the most important feature. Through this feature, you no longer need to change to another character in your family to move them to a desired location. Rather than explaining in detail, let's go ahead and watch a video.
Actually, low-key, this sounds interesting, not gonna lie.
Okay. There's a lot of nice quality of life stuff at the moment, chat.
Yeah. Seems decent.
Still, nobody cares. This is Heidel Ball. We want free goodies and new stuff.
Sub-menu where you
Not
can
freaking
choose to
interface
them, or
changes.
you can choose to
Oh,
switch
yeah,
to them.
that's nice.
You're gonna keep spamming me.
Ooh, there, and it's by nodes as well.
Yeah, you can move them through nodes now too.
Yeah, so it's not just where, you know, it's not just the main city now, you can actually move them to a node.
Nice.
That's nice. That's nice.
Oh, it's all nice having everything in one UI now.
SW.
네, 보시다시피
Next, as you can see, previously the character could only be moved between towns. This feature now allows characters to be moved to nodes as well, meaning you can place your characters where world or field bosses spawn, and for many other convenient purposes. Please note that the travel time remains the same as before, and moving between towns is free, but moving to nodes will cost a small amount of silver.
마을간 이동은 기존과 그대로 무료지만 거점 이동 시에는 소량의 은하가 필요한 점은 참고
That's nice. I like that.
Next, I would like to talk about streamlining the world map UI. As we were developing the grouping feature on zoom-ins and outs for the management of family characters, we took this opportunity to clean up one of the most confusing aspects of the world map, the knowledge icons. Honestly, I was doing the knowledge runs myself. Those icons were often hard to spot. I would constantly zoom in, tilt the map around. We'll improve that so you can see how much knowledge you are still missing in an area, which should make things a lot easier.
That's nice.
Wow.
The world map is an essential UI for adventuring and offers many features, but we have heard from many new adventurers that is still too complicated. With that in mind, we have made some major changes. First, we have separated the main menu from the sub-menu. The filter at the top focuses on most frequent used options, making it much more intuitive to turn it on and off.
Bro, I literally feel like
Note list and search functions.
I literally feel like I'm working back at the corporate.
Also, the secondary menu is in the bottom right.
The daily morning stream,
The top left,
being introduced to new features on our product that we are going to sell to the customers. This is literally it.
I like this kind of unification or integration of everything so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks really good.
Okay. Next, I'd like to...
Nobody's fishing. Nobody is in Heidel actually.
Previously, you'd have to check the website to see what was going on. Then open the quests window to accept the event quest. Sometimes, open the world map to find the location and get dice from the bottom right menu. The process wasn't as user-friendly, making it hard to keep track of the events, big or small. So, as you can see on the screen now, you'll be able to view all event information in-game. You can view a full list of ongoing events at a glance. Use the button to get directions to the event location, or accept the starting quest directly. It was also difficult to see how much time was left for each event. But now, events are about to end.
Wow, that's crazy.
Helping you prioritize which event to do before they expire.
Helping the FOMO grow.
That's actually really nice.
I love how of course the community managers, they cannot say anything bad, so they just need to like be like, oh my god, every change they do is so crazy. No, dude, it's
Combat XP to Life XP, a total of 33 different buffs will be displayed, so you can view everything at a glance without having to search for every buff individually.
Yeah.
amazing features upcoming in 2027, by the way.
Where the buff is coming from. For example, if you choose Mounted EXP, you'll see exactly how it's being applied from your character's base effects and pets to events, training levels, and mastery. It will also display how much buff is calculated so you can clearly understand how each one is working. Oh,
That's pretty nice.
that's really nice.
Okay.
It might seem a bit complex at first, but given how vast Black Desert's content is, we believe that having accurate, detailed info is essential. The new buff UI is built to make sure you're not missing anything, and we'll continue improving systems like this in future updates too.
Okay. That's really nice. Next,
I
is
like
the
3
enhancement
people in the
UI.
audience
There
clapping.
are 2 major changes.
People are staring with a blank expression of the zombie. That's what's happening on the actual
More
event.
intuitive update to enhancement terms and functions. Currently, materials like Advice of Valks and Valk's Cry are scattered across
Somebody is saying,
characters and also take up space in your
bro broed his mom.
With the
I would say
update,
it's true. They have their parents in the audience because nobody wanted to come in person.
Advice of Valks, Valk's Cry, Fairy's Blessing, and Hammers will automatically be stored in this inventory. This inventory can be accessed by your entire family, and the items can be
Huge.
used directly.
This is awesome. This is awesome. Finally. Finally, thank you.
Especially helpful for managing all the different types.
Thank you. Now I finally won't have to have like a million advices of Valks across all of my characters.
Origin of Dark Hunger, which
That's
is
good.
registered on the central market or have other specific uses, will still be managed on an individual character basis as before. That is a huge,
That's a huge double.
That's really good.
yeah. That's really, really nice.
Finally a
One of
good
the
change.
most confusing aspects of the previous enhancement system was the stacks. Originally, stacks were meant to be a kind of compensation for failure, but became an essential part of the enhancement process. So, we've unified the terminology to enhancement chance and streamlined related features such as Valk's Cry and Devour so they can all be used intuitively within this system. That's really nice. And as you can see from the UI, when you choose to increase
I cannot see the
enhancement
UI, I
chance,
can see only
you'll
your
be able to
pretty
use
face,
Valk's
dude.
Cry and even
Show us the UI,
Devour.
thank you.
As this is more convenient than the current Devour system, we expect it to be a big improvement for the veteran adventurers. And we expect the new adventurers to naturally understand it as a function to increase the enhancement chance.
That's looking really clean.
Yeah, it is
See my
really
inventory.
cool.
I can't wait to summer of 2026
Recommended.
to be able to use this feature.
Next, the term use Cronstone didn't clearly communicate that this feature protects your gear during enhancement. Now, it will be replaced with a much clearer term, level protection. It'll also be improved so that you'll select the materials yourself when using this feature. So, this change should help prevent those accidental moments, like forgetting to use the Cronstone. Overall, this redesigned enhancement UI is aimed at reducing confusion and making the system more intuitive for new adventurers.
No, I'm not trying to be too negative. It's just hard for me to take this seriously.
This is more convenient for our
I understand that they are starting with the most boring stuff because they want people to stay for the good stuff that is going to be in the end. And if they would just give us free goodies and tell us about the Demon Castle, then everybody would just leave the stream. But like,
Next, while this isn't related to UI, we also prepared some benefits to help our new adventurers. First, to all our accessories, which are seasonal items, will no longer fail enhancement at Try and Below. The season server is designed as a mini version of Black Desert World for new adventurers to experience. But since it is also important for them to know that accessories can be destroyed when enhancing, so destruction will still occur. But for all
Yes.
the enhancements at Try and Above, to make it less stressful,
how about you take
trying
the
to gear up with Koala
this
accessories.
absolutely, how about you take this absolutely terrible mechanic out of the game completely?
And from now on,
You know, destruction of accessories. What the hell is that even?
settlement support
And
fund.
Karazad doesn't destruct,
We
by the
were
way.
analyzing data from last winter through this year and found that new adventurers typically graduate from season server in as little as 3 days, with the average of being around 9 days. We think this is a reasonable time frame, but most players graduate with about 400 million up to 1 million silver on hand.
I think that'd be really nice.
Yeah, give us more silver. I'm fine with that. I will cash in on all of those season tokens.
Server, you'll need to gear up and start enjoying all kinds of content which requires some starting funds. We considered providing items, but honestly, nothing beats silver. We believe giving silver instead would offer more flexibility and choice. For this reason, we will be providing all new adventurers who graduate with a 10 billion silver support fund. We hope this will aid you in shopping.
Note that he is talking only about new adventures, so we veteran players, even if we complete the season, we won't get nothing. Let's just keep that in mind, okay?
At once.
This is seasonal, but new adventures. So only if you start a new character or new account, new season. That's how I understand this.
That's like a good way to
Yeah.
like start off, get those necessary items from the central market.
Absolutely, and you start getting like little like goals as well with all that kind of silver along the way. Look at the silver. What do you think about it?
Next, I would like to
Yeah.
talk about another feature that many of you have requested. Now, even if you used up all your party Black Shrine attempts in Hwanghae, you'll still be able to help other adventurers. Previously, you could only retry bosses and difficulties you had already cleared, but now you'll be able to challenge any boss or difficulty as many times as you'd like. There have been adventurers who have expressed frustrations over wanting to help a new guild member but couldn't because they had already used up their attempts. So, we hope this update will be meaningful for those who want to help others. Please note, however, if you don't have any remaining attempts, you won't be able to receive rewards. We previously updated Ataraxion to allow adventurers to skip straight to boss fight, but we are aware this also made it harder for some adventurers who used to help others progress through Ataraxion. We plan to address this by changing the way daggers are obtained. Daggers will drop from the bosses instead of being awarded as a quest reward. This change is scheduled to go live with the update on July 10. That concludes our updates for new and rookie adventurers.
Can we also like ditch the freaking simple alchemy mechanic from those dungeons? Like, why is that even there? Who thought it's a good idea?
Okay, nice.
You've created dungeon system so terrible that now you need like several Heidel Balls to slowly fixing it, one issue at a time. In this space, at 2030, those dungeons will be actually playable. Good job, guys.
Shrine retries. July 30th, the enhancement UI changes.
And well, one more thing before we move on to the next chapter. Recently, we held a mentor and mentee event.
Not yet. We're still going over the world map. You're
Oh,
spoiling.
okay.
Stop spoiling and life. Everybody cares about mentor and mentee.
Sorry.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. So, as I said,
They really want new players into the game, which means that the game is bleeding out slowly.
We found that the more support systems we provided to help new adventurers adapt, the better. So we're planning to expand these efforts in the long-term plan as well. Okay, it'll take some time to implement, but we're also working on revamping the Olvia area in a beginner-only zone. We're calling it Olvia School, a school for new adventurers with support from Calphian. That part of the Olvia will be rebuilt. Here, you'll be able to hone your skills by battling various monsters and try out cooking and alchemy with
Excuse me, what?
ingredients and share
The new players will now have to attend school before they are allowed to play.
and in a practical
That's
way.
actually...
We plan to operate Olvia School in classes, and even after graduating, adventurers can stay connected through alumni groups with ongoing support for forming lasting in-game communities. It will take some time until it's built, but since the scenery of Olvia will change significantly, we encourage those with fond memories of the area to visit there before the update goes live. And in short term, we'll be refining our early game systems as introduced today. And in the long run, we're preparing an entirely new beginning area. Our goal is to help new adventurers really experience what makes Black Desert fun right from the beginning.
That sounds like a big thing.
That's really nice. I think it's
And-
important for those people just starting their
this-
journey.
I also missed
This
Olvia.
chapter 1, the journey begins. We're wrapping up. 11 years of Black Desert, but there can be never enough quality of life improvements, I think.
Absolutely.
These updates aren't just helpful for new adventurers as they get started, they are full of changes that make the game more comfortable for everyone. We still
And newbies
have
will have a lot of money, so we will be able to scam them by selling garbage on the marketplace. Some sort of shiny things.
we still have plenty more to share today.
Yep.
Next up is chapter 2, which is going to focus on getting familiar with the world of Black Desert. So let's dive right in and see what's coming next.
Into the Wide World, Chapter 2. We're growing, chap. We're growing. And next updates for those still getting familiar with the game. Since a lot of these are quality of life updates, veteran adventurers may also find these updates useful. Once again, UI updates come first, which start with what so many adventurers have been anticipating: the all-in-one preset. This is not the first time I'm talking about the all-in-one preset, and I've always felt sorry for making you wait. But now I'm happy to say that it's almost ready to be released. With the all-in-one preset, you'll be able to view all your various settings on a single screen. What really makes this feature shine is that your preset will automatically apply when you enter specific content. Take the Arena of Solari, for example. Am I going a bit too far ahead? Yeah, sorry, chat.
Yeah, so we can now make our game look as garbage for content that matters. That's good.
Select your preferred preset in advance, just like what is shown right now. If you're out PvEing and get matched up for the Arena of Solari, your settings will automatically switch to your preset for the arena. And they'll switch back to the default settings after the match. In this way, you'll be able to set up presets for each type of content.
Is that Kutum, by the way? I'm not sure. Yeah, it was Kutum.
While Kalin's buff has become
Let's club him.
it's causing issues in various content like the Guild League. We considered extended its duration, but honestly we feel it's
Oh, sorry.
necessary.
Didn't want to mute you.
Together to simplify things, both now and for the future. So, we're gradually phasing out Amity buffs, like Carolyn's and Aliston's. Now, you might be thinking, how are we going to deal with DR classes from now on? That's a fair concern, and we'll be addressing it shortly after. Going back to all-in-one preset. I am really I'm very sorry. At first it was going really fast, and then
The idea is to kind of make everything a bit easier to
Yeah.
update and simplify.
we're addressing it shortly after. Going back to the all-in-one preset, definitely didn't get here already, the auto-switching feature is currently being tested. So, and it is being planned to launch in August 28th update. We apologize for the extra wait, and we want to ensure it's fully polished and delivers the convenience it's meant to offer for all.
In other words, we just have this draft and now we're going to start to work on it now.
Sorry, Chad, I was zooming.
So our developers have 2 months
I
to...
thought I was actually behind.
Yeah, look at them,
Next
how
up,
they are excited.
Adventure log reward integration. Adventure logs are crucial, play a crucial role in progression by boosting key stats like AP and DP. But with stat rewards spreading across multiple logs, trying to collect them all can feel overwhelming. With this update, completing just Igor Bartali's adventures will grant you all the stat rewards, including AP, DP, accuracy and evasion, max stamina, MP, and HP.
Let's go,
Igor's
Bartali.
got it all. Igor has got it all.
Becoming more famous now.
Now, you might wonder...
There is
what
so
the
little
other
people
adventure
watching,
logs
what the
are
hell?
now. To address this, we're adding special rewards like colored titles to them, turning them into...
Are you people like watching Blue
objective
Squadron or
based
something?
content. In short, they'll become optional
How many people are watching
rather
him?
than mandatory. For adventurers who've already completed
Dude,
these
dude,
logs,
3,000 people watching Blue Squadron now. Interesting.
I'm sorry for your
If
DP.
you haven't yet, the choice
Okay.
is entirely yours. So for new adventurers are also immediately met with the mandatory quests, like those for the campsite or tier 5 pet, right after starting the game. But with more mandatory quests added over time, many new adventurers have found the early game overwhelming. We're working on improving this experience as well. That said, we'd like to ask for your understanding. For instance, even after simplifying Blackstones, we ended up introducing a new one later on. Sometimes when adding new content, new items are inevitably introduced. And so are quests. While we aim to minimize this, some additions are simply unavoidable as the game grows. That's why going forward, we want to put more focus on reorganizing existing content. So before we add something new, we'll make sure we'll make it a priority, to clean up, streamline, and polish what's already there to make the game more manageable and enjoyable for everyone.
I think that's really important, actually. Like,
Yeah.
so people not
I
just
agree.
feel overwhelmed, but like burdened by having so much stuff.
Yeah, and it's a thing like for I think
It's called cleaning the house. It's called taking out the garbage can.
Consolidate.
Yeah, it's called cleaning out the trash.
New things coming.
I agree, it's important, but you shouldn't be uploaded for that. You should do this automatically.
This is Klaus Oldmund seed pouch. We have been working on making seeds stackable, but since that is taking longer than expecting, we are offering this temporary solution. This pouch is for storage only. You won't be able to plant directly from it. While I have been focusing on just one crop, many adventurers prefer growing a wider variety.
So you're telling me that it is easier for you guys.
Comes with 50 slots.
Hold up. It is easier for you guys to create new inventory backspace
We hope this pouch helps adventurers who
than
have
make
trouble with inventory
seeds
space
stackable.
and storing different types of seeds.
Because your code is so complicated that making like non-stackable items into stackable items is so hard that you need like extra 2 months to do it.
It is also easy to obtain.
Now,
Once you reach farming skill 1,
game development is hard.
to get it. Please note that only one pouch can be obtained per family.
This is literally a fish tank for seeds.
Next up, using energy from your alt characters. Previously, energy-based content often required switching to the character with energy you needed. Just as we've enabled node investments via the world map using alt characters' energy, we are planning to extend alt's energy usage to other contents as well. Recently, we improved the hiring system, so you can hire workers from other towns. And adding to that, you'll be able to use energy of your alt characters when hiring them. If these changes were made along with updates like contribution points, cost reduction for nodes, and new production nodes in Lukita and Kaplan, it would be much convenient for many adventurers. We regret that this improvement is coming so late, but still, better late than never, and we are committed to make it happen. Additionally, you'll be soon able to use alt characters' energy at the Patrigyo shop as well. We were working on that too. These are all for making adventurers' lives easier.
That's nice. It's really, really nice. Next up, the screen may be familiar for those enjoying life skill content. These are silver embroidered life clothes. These have been must-haves for life skillers for about 8 years, and beloved by many adventurers. However, after the Manos patch, their only real purpose has been the life EXP boost, and constantly swapping outfits for that has been a hassle. So, we've decided to let most silver embroidered life clothes go. Except for the traders and farmers' clothes that don't provide a mastery buff, all other silver embroidered life skill clothes will be removed, and their effects like life EXP boost, cooking time reduction, and processing success rate will be added to the Manos clothes. Those who already own silver embroidered life clothes will receive compensation based on their enhancement level. You'll get silver up to duo, and from try and above you'll receive a Jin, Bon or 1 Dawn Crystal Life EXP based on the enhancement level. We're keeping the name of the Dawn Crystal because it uses the same slot unlocked by equipping the old Karazad accessory. This slot is now available when equipping Creon accessories. Crafting Jin, Bon 1 Dawn Crystals Life EXP would look like this.
Gonna rob me of these clothing, by the way.
Very nice. While we're introducing life skill content, let me add one more thing. You know how processing works, right? It can be a bit processing fails. So we're looking to improve that. With this patch, we're planning to add the processing success rate effect from the silver embroidered craftsman clothes to the Manos craftsman's clothes. Also, if your gear isn't fully optimized yet, to reduce the number of processing failures, there'll be an increase in the base processing success rate. That's pretty nice. Okay. So, next up, let's look at the screen first, shall we?
I'm gonna lose a lot of
Now.
those. But hey, it's okay. I'm using mostly manos anyway nowadays.
Pearl inventory slots. While the number of outfits are growing, the shortage of pearl inventory slots remain an ongoing issue. We are working on various solutions like a dressing room and so on. But since those will take more time, we are implementing the quickest improvement possible. So, we're introducing 2 new items. Patricio's extra large apparel bag and Merv's carry-on bag. Patricio's extra large apparel bag, as the name suggests, is a storage dedicated to outfits. As you can see, it has 40 slots. So, compared to the existing Patricio's apparel bag, it offers much more space. Each family can have up to 5 of these, and they are obtainable through the loyalty shop. This adds a total of 200 extra pearl inventory slots just for outfits, which means that the current shortage of pearl inventory will be in a better state. Unlike next up is the Merv's carry-on bag, and unlike the apparel bag, this item specializes in quick swap rather than storage. When you open it, you will see an equipment style UI instead of a bag, allowing you to assign outfits for each slot. With a single click on swap, you can instantly change your entire outfit.
Guys, we know we have this bad issue in the game, and we're trying to fix it. So, so please give us the loyalty points that we recently reset and took a lot of those out of your hands. Give us those loyalty points to fix this issue temporarily, okay? That's great. Yeah.
Up to 12 per year from the loyalty shop.
As if they couldn't just make another barrel shop inventory with 192 slots for costumes only, and separate pyro items from costume pyro items. That would be too hard, guys. We need more Patricio bags. We need more inventory bags in our inventory bags, so we can inventory bag management while doing inventory bag management. Yeah, sounds fitting. And also cost loyalty, so huge win. I'm being very sarcastic, by the way.
Okay, so adventurers who already own Patricio Power Bag will receive Merv's carry-on bag equal to the number of their bags owned. And while you won't be able to get Patricio's apparel bag anymore, you'll still be able to use the ones you already own for the extra storage. Moving on, let's talk about a new feature coming.
They're taking away our bags that we already have, so I will have to reorganize everything.
You'll soon be able to designate a main maid and fully customize
Black inconvenience on... Why? I can't say that. I'm gonna get cancelled. That's not what I meant. Inconvenience Desert Online. That's
You can set your maid as a shy dressed in a shy exclusive outfit and create your own cutie pie maid. Or go with a giant and have a big sturdy butler by your side, using a conversion stone available at the Pearl shop. Outfits can be converted into maid exclusive outfits. These outfits can be extracted like regular outfits, or reverted back using a conversion stone if needed.
I can dress up my mate now into an outfit?
Once you set your main maid, they'll greet you every
People
time
wanted
you use
this?
the maid function, replacing the default maid.
Excuse me?
Also adding small interactive features. For example, when you board a wagon, your maid will take the driver's seat, while your character rides alongside and rests. We plan to expand these interactions further. Since this is your personal maid,
You are
you'll be
wasting...
able to name them and even chat with them. And we're experimenting with AI features.
Chat with them.
Oh boy. One important note here, we're intentionally avoiding any gameplay advantages with the main maid. We don't want it to become a must-have or affect balance. This is purely meant
What are you doing? You have millions of issues and you are introducing this useless feature.
Your own personal companion.
You'll always have friends.
See what chat's saying.
Coming up next, let's set the improvements aside for a while and introduce some content. It is what we have mentioned before, the blue battlefield. This is where guilds clash on waters with ships. which is going to be a naval PvP content. This content was originally brought up at Heidel Ball 2021, but was at a halt for several issues. Letting it go wasn't easy for us, because this concept of
4 years later.
great battle was one of the content we wanted to make happen the most in the world of Black Desert. So this year, with our everlasting passion, we came up with solutions for some critical issues and gave it one more try. We found out that occupation node war rules fitted in surprisingly well and came out more enjoyable than expected. So we decided to make it go live. The Blue Battlefield will take place in 2 regions, the Balanos Sea and the Calfian Sea. We'll kick things off in the Balanos Sea first this summer. The rules are similar to Occupation Node War. Guilds can register up to 20 members for the battlefield. However, for your participation to affect fort count, over half of your registered members must actually participate. Depending on how many guilds join, forts will spawn across random islands in the Balanos Sea. Capturing a fort or destroy at least 10 enemy ships is the minimum condition for rewards. As with the Occupation Node War, at the end of the battlefield, the guild that is occupying the fort wins. Since the Blue Battle is a naval battlefield, the role of your characters is minimal, and instead, fleet combat is the core of all tactics and strategies. We are expecting intense cannon battles, so in order to create fights that are actually fun, we have added 2 special rules to keep things interesting. First, all ship movements are halved. All ships participating in the Blue Battlefield will have their movements-related stats such as speed, accel, turn and brake reduced by 50%. It might feel a bit sluggish compared to normal sailing, but the current ship speed is too fast for naval combats. This change is meant to encourage more strategic and enjoyable sea battles. Second, you cannot repair ships during the battle. Maintaining your fleet is key in this content, and thus revive items like Tears of the Wind are also disabled. If your ship is destroyed, you will have to turn to wharf, repair, and set sail again. To prevent players from being stranded at sea, we'll provide a traveler's map with a short cooldown specifically designed for the Blue Battlefield.
That's nice.
This content is dead on arrival, by the way.
Interesting.
Like,
And
it sounds
obviously,
great on paper.
Even if your ship is destroyed
Nobody's
during
going to
the
play
Blue
this.
Battlefield, your sailors won't suffer any penalties, so charge into combat. Now let's talk about the roles and synergies of different ship types. Since the Blue Battlefield is a guild scale battle, how you manage your fleet is crucial. First, the guild galley serves as a flagship. In the Blue Battlefield, the ship becomes extremely durable, and compared to other ship types, it can deal much more damage against forts. So utilizing this flagship is the key to victory. However, you cannot make use of multiple galleys. Only one galley is allowed per guild. This is to reduce burden of constructing and improving multiple galleys for the content.
Okay. So, for Carracks are better at destroying enemy fleets, serving as your main combat units. Protecting the flagship, the guild galley, while destroying enemy fleets will be their main mission. I said that once the Blue Battlefield begins, all ships will have their movement stats reduced by 50%.
Can't we just sit at Heidel Castle and play, battleships on paper? It would be more interesting than this.
The Panoxons will act as tanks, breaking enemy formations. They'll receive buffs on their defense, and their smooth turn skill will go through a revamp. Instead of turning just 45 degrees, it can now spin 180 degrees in place, which allows quickly firing cannons from both sides. Panoxons can hold its position and stay strong for a long time, while disrupting enemies with fast fires, making them game changers in fleet battles. And finally, Etheria galleons are also eligible for battle, and this ship can become a wildcard. Etheria galleons are extremely tough, but their attacks are relatively weak. In order to make their balance suitable for the content, we plan to slightly lower its defense and boost its attack. Guilds with more galleons may have an advantage, but they'll also draw more attention from rivals. Now, after all these explanations on the blue battlefield, you may think, isn't this just another naval node war? And honestly, you're right. It will run 6 days a week, except Saturday, following the same time schedule as the regular node war. In other words, you could think of it as a standalone naval node war.
You know what?
At first, we considered simply adding naval
Congratulations to people who are going to be participating and get free notes for this. Everybody else, can we just move on to something interesting?
Patiently, and for those who've made ocean content their main focus, we wanted to offer something special, a dedicated experience just for you. That's why we've completely excluded character stats and designed this content to be all about your ship. This isn't about splitting the current Node War player base. Instead, we're creating an entirely new pool of participants.
Players who have been battering since 2017 can finally take all their knowledge and hard-earned ships and do something with it. Good.
The rewards are also completely different, setting this content apart. Let's look at the rewards now then. Okay, we have designed helpful buffs for adventurers who enjoy seafaring, alongside guild funds and gold bars as well. Reward boxes will also include item to reroll the stats of sea crystals and chests with yellow or red grade sea crystals according to a set probability. To sum it up, the Blue Battlefield is a naval PvP mode that borrows the rules of the current Node War, focusing on ships. I would say this mode is for both seasoned and aspiring captains, and delivering a new, enjoyable experience has been our top priority when developing it. We'll put the greatest effort to make it enjoyable till the very last. Okay, that includes Chapter 2. Now let's take a look at when the update is coming on screen.
Okay, we see all the dates
See
again.
from most of them are coming July.
시작으로 역시 순차적으로 반영이 되고요. 통합 프리셋과 대표 메이드를 제외하면 모두 7월까지 마무리 예정입니다. 잘 준비해서 선보일 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
네. 챕터 2의 내용도 정말 꾹꾹
You know, the first time I decided to stream Heidel Ball and they came up with this.
그런 이야기도
This is probably the most, the biggest snorefest of them all so far.
Stood out to me. As someone still getting used to things, I really appreciate it. Plenty of quality of life upgrades were introduced, including energy surge, a seed bag, an outfit bag, plus a sneak peek at the blue battlefield. But I think it's time to go to Edonia, so let's see what's next in the next chapter together.
Okay. We're now on Chapter 3, Beyond the Desert Sands, chat. We are leveling up.
We're getting there. We're
We're
to
getting
Edonia.
there.
We're
I know
heading over
people
there.
are excited for other stuff. Don't worry, chat. We're on our way. Okay? Now, this chapter is titled Beyond the Desert Sands. These are for those who settled in the world and gotten the hang of Black Desert. Our previous topics were a bit lighter.
Did we get
But since this
Gutum
chapter
down
is
meanwhile?
Just before heading to Edonia, we've included some
Ew.
advanced content.
Is
We
that?
have a lot to cover. Let's dive right in.
This is the most exciting
First up,
from all Heidel Ball today.
content,
Getting my Gutum
Lan
loot.
Serban's landscape. In Black Desert, many adventurers spent a long time
Thank you.
trying to find specific treasures. That passion for reaching your goals is truly inspiring. But that challenge can feel overwhelming or even keep some from trying it at all. We've been thinking about it a lot because it's important to honor those who've reached these treasures after all those obstacles. So simply lowering the difficulty wasn't an option, but leaving things as they are didn't feel quite right either. So we're proposing a new way of treasure hunting, which is called Alan Serban's Landscape. The landscape painting you see here is a magical frame that captures the scenery of treasure monster zones, like History of Ruins or Akman Temple. It's based on the Nader frame, found in Tariff. The idea is that by imbuing the frame with a spell, the energy of the specific location fuses with your character temporarily. While in this state, you gain a powerful effect. You can obtain treasure materials from the monster zone, even while subjugating in a different location. For example, if you activate the landscape of History of Ruins, even at monster zone.
So I will finally be able to farm the mob somewhere else than Pilaku Jail. I will never have to go to Pilaku Jail again. Okay, I love this. I do.
Well, that's pretty cool.
You won't be able to use it
That's
in
good.
every monster zone. The landscape will only be available in zones with 300 plus AP requirement. I'm sorry, I was a bit ahead. See, there we are.
Yeah.
Kind of like a treasure item drop event on demand.
So it's for the elite.
You'll need a scenery item.
It's not for the normal people.
Treasure monster zone. For example, if you defeat monsters in History of Ruins, you can obtain Scenery of Histria.
Where is the gathering,
landscape will
though?
react upon using the scenery item and activate a number of spell charges equal to item use. Defeating monsters will spell activated will consume spell charges. Think of it as working
Where's the TV
similarly
screen?
to Agris Viva.
I hope they're going to add the TV screen.
Yeah, treasure field.
There's nothing in here.
Okay. I was ahead of it.
Um,
Okay, no, I'm behind. This also means you can collect scenery items
Oh.
characters of History of Ruins and tagged characters.
Let's
from your desired
actually-
monster zone. You consume the scenery. of
Let's
history.
screenshot this.
However, it doesn't mean that using the scenery increases your drop rate or anything like that. It only enables the item to.
I'm
drop
going to
into
back.
the zone,
I'm gonna back
and
to
even
fishing.
Then at a fixed lower.
Yeah, marketplace is on
than it would
maintenance.
In the original monster zone. And just in
They
case
announced
you
it like
wonder,
half an hour
does
ago
this really work?
in the game.
Just like scroll written in ancient language, default guaranteed items are also included in the item drop table. This contents goal is completely tearing down the walls of treasure hunting, but rather giving you a bit more breathing room. We've designed it to stop adventurers from being stuck in one zone and let them breathe some different air from time to time. Also, you don't have to keep party zones running, because once you've obtained enough scenery items, you'll be able to go after the treasure items solo. We think this will be a nice advantage for many players. For now,
It's a good
scenery
idea,
items
but it's
can only be
such a
obtained
terrible
from monster
execution that it doesn't really
but
matter.
as we
Like
monitor
300
the
plus
trends,
AP.
we're planning to gradually add more resources. for
That's
obtaining
only
them.
for like the best
Our
players.
focus is
Low-key,
to
I
make
have
sure this
300
content finds
just
its
barely.
place and make
Like
the treasure hunting
the rest of those
experience
requirements, I
flexible.
lost like whatever. Should have made it
Next up
more
is an update
accessible.
many adventurers have been
Maybe
requesting
like
for a long time.
250
We're revamping
plus.
the Alchemy Stone
Let's go.
system, chats.
Oh.
It is happening. It is now. Alchemy Stones are a key progression goal for our top-tier adventurers, but we've received a lot of feedback that the system is too complicated. There
Drop
were two
reminder,
main
by the way.
issues.
We have
First,
brand new drops.
The level and grade systems were too complex. Yeah? Second, the system itself was unfriendly and difficult to progress through. To fundamentally address these problems, we've prepared this revamp.
What do you mean difficult? Just get the
Alchemy
walls
Stones
hard.
had
It's not
8
that
levels,
complicated.
From imperfect to shining, and each was split into 4 color grades: white, green, blue, and yellow. It was just too complicated. So moving forward, we're simplifying both the levels and grades. And as you can see, levels will now be reduced to 6: imperfect, sturdy, sharp, splendid, splendid, and shining. Each level will now only have 1 grade: yellow. Adventurers with alchemy stones of the removed grades will be compensated with silver based on the grade of the stone. The UI layout will be improved along with levels.
We're
and
gonna get
grades.
dropped of our alchemy stones.
Unlike
Right.
other equipment, Alchemy Stone has 2-step progression system, gaining EXP through polishing and leveling up through growth. This led to going back and forth between the tabs, making progression a tedious task. with the update, recharging growth can be done on the same screen. And you can probably see something else there, chat. There's also some changes to the growth difficulty. First, the success rate will now be displayed. Also, using Cronstone when attempting growth on an alchemy stone will prevent it from being destroyed even if you fail. The Ancient Anvil system is also being added. You'll be guaranteed to level up your alchemy stone after a certain number of failures.
You know, it's good, even though it's going to be expensive,
Alchemy stone,
but it's good.
Rarity.
But still, like, just get the Wells Heart, who cares about this? Next.
Required to use the Ancient Anvil being set to a very high number. Okay. The overall success rate
today
for
it's
alchemy
just
stones will also be slightly
such a
increased.
Snorfest
Shining
today.
alchemy stone to honor the effort
And all of these are like
who've overcome
kinda wins, but
failures.
also not really.
The shining alchemy stone.
It's not exciting at all.
Will remain high.
Oh, here's a video.
Okay. Next up, let's watch.
Sovereign of Hand? Is it Sovereign Armor? It's Sovereign of Hand, it seems. That was mistaken? Yeah, it's like Sovereign Shield that is holding. Which is good. Nobody was surprised that day. We knew that this is coming.
Very nice.
I think many adventurers have been
Many adventurers were speculating on this as the reveal of the new item, Sovereign Sub-Weapon. Many adventurers had a feeling it was coming, but everyone is asking, what kind of stats will it have? Shall we take a look at the effects first?
Let's take a look. Ooh.
Oh,
Look at that AP, chat. Look at the AP. You know,
many adventurers got this right.
So finally, we can say goodbye to Kutum versus Offin.
The Sovereign Sub-Weapon combines the power
Yeah.
of both Nova and Kutum. Its enhancement levels are the same as those for main and awakening weapons, comprised of 10 levels, and the difficulty is also identical.
How do I
There are three
create
different
this?
crafting members for the Sovereign Sub-Weapon, since it has the effect of 2 weapons
With-
in one, it
with
does
what we
require
are creating this?
more materials compared to main or awakening weapons.
yeah.
First, you can use 2 pen Black Star sub-weapons plus 1 Gem of Twilight. Second, you can use a pen Black Star sub-weapon, 1 pen Kutum sub-weapon at Capras level 20, and a pen Nova sub-weapon at Capras level 20. Or third, a pen Black Star sub-weapon, one Gem of Twilight, and a new item called Gem of the Primordial. The Gem of the Primordial is a new item, and we'll get to how to obtain it. We'll get to know how to obtain it shortly.
Pretty sure the same with
Also,
we have.
just like main and
yeah.
awakening weapons, Sovereign sub-weapons gain additional visual effects at pen and oct. Please note that they cannot be registered on the central market.
Of course they
Next
can't.
up, let's watch another clip.
What you do is you're gonna register your pen Black Star on the market.
Wansu from the
So
past.
somebody
Yes, it's
buy
Wansu
them.
from last year's ball.
It's Wansu from the past, chat.
And he's talking about a Dine Ardu Doom thing.
yeah.
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 It's like combining the horses, right? He said that he was gonna try and do that
Yeah,
because chat wanted it.
And they,
Yeah.
and they're talking about how we did the sap.
Yeah.
And the joke is like Wansu's name in Korean is kind of similar to like Walyo. It's like kind of similar to complete. So they're joking like, oh, your name is complete, so you're going to complete this, right?
Nice.
That is right. I'm here with my words from last winter. Hereby presenting Dine Ardunat Doom.
Video time.
It's going to be like a super horse that you create by combining all of your horses together. So if you have like Crocodile Sanctuary. If you have Crocodile Sanctuary, you will be able to swap them on the go. Will you still have 3 horses, or will it be more like... Oh, we had a disconnection there for a second. This is kind of exciting, but like, it's only for people who have Crocodile Sanctuary, meaning you have all of the tier 10 horses. Yeah. Oh,
That's crazy. That was so seamless.
That was really good.
Okay.
Just like in the video, on flatland it charges forward in the form of Mythical Doom, glides as Mythical Ardunat while airborne, and walks on the water as Mythical Dine on the sea. And in desert it takes on the form of Dream Horse Dine. Since Dine fits the desert best, we decided to add it in as well.
That's nice.
When I first brought this up, I wanted it to be meaningful for all trainers out there, but I didn't want to burden you with more cores or requirements. So after some thought, I realized that those who already built Sanctuary are, in a way, the ultimate trainers. That is why we are sending out this horse to everyone who has a Sanctuary.
Oh.
This isn't a one-time event reward either. From now on, anyone who builds a Sanctuary will obtain one. So you can take out this horse with your main character and leave your Sanctuary to alts as you see fit.
That's good.
That's
good.
Horse chant.
If you get a Sanctuary, you get one.
Yeah.
That's good. You know, I don't have Sanctuary, but I don't hate it. You know, let the people who have Sanctuary have this.
So you could just leave your other Sanctuary to your
This spatial Dine
Look at this guy, he's excited. He's like, yeah, I have my Sanctuary, I'm gonna get my horse. It's amazing. I'm like, good on him.
And its base stats are set to highest values amongst mythical horses. For example, its speed matches Ardunat's highest, and turn matches Doom's top stat. As the best horse in Black Desert, we made it sure it has the best possible stats to match.
Oh.
Okay, that's nice.
And actually, I haven't come up with its name yet. So it's called Dine Ardunat Doom for now. But if you recommend any good names, we may use them when we go live.
Yeah, chat.
It's like Diardo, he's French. Dead.
Dad horse. Stop it.
People are calling it dead.
We have
Okay.
another clip.
People are calling it dead now. It's officially the dead horse.
Oh, this
It's
is,
the it's the dead
Black
horse.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, wait. Okay, it's like instant transmission.
Yeah, this is actually something that is still experimental level. We are working on the feature lets you instantly switch the tag character without any loading time. Honestly, it's still too early to say for sure whether this will be possible or not, but if everything goes well, while there will be still a cooldown, you'll be able to instantly switch your tagged character when travel separately is turned off.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What this means is it's not going to be working as intended, but it will remove our ability to switch the characters manually from the switching screen. It's going to be the worst from the both
This feature
horrible
remains uncertain for now,
worlds.
but I wanted to share this with you because this motivates us to work even harder. So consider this as a little push for ourselves as well.
Bro, your spaghetti
Our best to
engine,
make this happen, just
it's
like
holding on a
Ardunat Doom.
thread now.
And that wraps up the details for Chapter 3. Now let me tell you when you can expect this update.
Oh.
He also made another joke saying that with his name.
Oh, yeah. To complete.
Yeah, with his autocomplete. So, Sovereign Sub-Weapons, August 6th.
August 6th, okay.
DNA Ardu Doom is August 13th. The landscape is August 27th. And
Yeah.
the Alchemy Stone renewal is set for September.
September, okay.
챕터 3
Nice.
사막을 넘어서였는데 역시나 적응 단계를 넘어선
Okay,
분들이
Chapter
많다
3,
보니까
Beyond the Desert, I think sounds great.
뭐
Or Beyond
풍경도
the Desert
그렇고
sounds great.
Yeah.
이거 지금 이름이 안 적혀져서
Alan
인물은
Servan's
완성돼
Landscape,
이름을 못 지었으니까요.
Alchemy Stone rework, Sovereign Sub-Weapons, DNA Ardu Not Doom. That's a lot.
Nice.
I think we really do need a better name.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
let's keep them coming.
The most popular name is in the chat now.
Yeah, apparently it's Dad.
Yes.
Dad is the name of the
Dad
horse.
is the name.
I think that's just how it's going to be
And
from now on. Sad.
For me, like the character tagging switch was actually crazy to see. It's
Yeah,
like,
it
instantly,
was.
yeah.
Super
Without
good.
any loading.
Yeah.
이제 재성인과
but
완성이
Now, I think it's time for Chapter 4, everyone.
Well,
It's finally time.
Yeah,
It's finally time for Adania. everyone.
maybe, but before that, I think we're going to go into 3.5. So yes, we are, but just before we move on to Adania, there's something important I'd like to talk about first. Those who remember the last Calcium Ball may be wondering, when is it happening? It's the patch we were promised for removing resistance from PvP and grouping the class synergies. That's what I want to talk about now. I know you've all been waiting, chat. I've been seeing the comments. The removal of PvP resistance is a change to a core system that has been part of Black Desert since its earliest days. That's why we needed to approach this with a great consideration. So as we were preparing this update, other issues and lingering regrets have also been in our minds. For example, the class summons and the long-standing issue with them, confusion and challenges in balancing from an outdated damage calculation formula, and on top of that, a diminishing sense of progression. These challenges that we needed to overcome kept coming into mind. We need to sort it all out at once, chat. And over the past 10 years, Black Desert has truly come a long way. But that time means some of our systems became outdated, while others accumulated problems upon problems. So with this opportunity, we wanted to not only address PvP resistance, but also clearly organize and improve the aforementioned issues. Looking back at each of them, it pretty much required a complete rebuild of Black Desert's entire combat structure, which is why it took so much time. Still, now that most of the work is finally wrapping up, on this very day, right before the launch of Adania, we're excited to share with our adventurers the changes we've prepared. There's quite a bit to say about this.
Yeah, as Jessup mentioned earlier, over the past 10 years of Black Desert, our combat system has gradually become more complex.
A bit slow.
Alongside that, a number of issues have also accumulated. The changes we've made were done with the goal of streamline and unity in mind. There are 4 key areas we're focusing on with this overhaul. First, refining the damage calculation formula. Second, removing resistance from PvP. Third, grouping synergy multipliers. And fourth, improving the system to enhance the sense of equipment growth. First is refining the damage calculation formula. We started by clarifying the basic terminology, specifically for evasion or accuracy and evasion. They were often displayed as accuracy rate, evasion rate, causing confusion. Now, these will be unified as accuracy and evasion with a 1% to 4-point conversion rate. This change should prevent any further confusion with mixed terminology. Additionally, all accuracy effects attached to each class's skills will now be removed. Currently, each class receives different accuracy effects for each skill based on their unique characteristics. Because of this, balancing has been difficult. And there have been certainly cases where things felt unfair depending on the situation. So we plan to remove all accuracy rate attached to individual skills and instead add in accuracy plus 18 per skill to Infinite Mastery, a common passive skill for all characters.
Now this might be a bit confusing, so to give you an example, currently this is the Hashishun skill Inquisition. This skill has a stat that increases accuracy rate by 19% and a buff that increases all accuracy rate plus 6% for 10 seconds when using the skill. Such effects that come with the skill itself will be removed going forward, and accuracy will instead be added to a common passive skill, Infinite Mastery. Please do note that accuracy effects on class-specific passive skills will remain the same. This way, every class will be able to use more diverse combos without being limited by skills that increase accuracy rate. Next is about the damage reduction rate of super armor. Am I a bit fast? I am a bit fast. This time I'm a bit fast. Sorry, chat. Can't get it right. Can't get it right. PvP players may already know this, but other adventurers might find this unfamiliar. The damage reduction rate have been applied as a multiplicative stat so far, but since it applies differently from various buffs in the game, we are changing it to an additive calculation. for unification and intuitiveness. For just changing the formula like this would diminish the efficiency of skills that increase damage reduction rate. So, we'll be adjusting the damage reduction rates of these skills, along with the formula. We are sharing this as they are changes being made. But we'll...
You said you are simplifying things. All I hear is that just you are replacing one complicated stuff with another complicated stuff. I don't understand anything, but I don't play PvP, so I don't really care.
How it's applied in PvP and PvE. For example, extra damage to humans will no longer activate when you fight with another adventurer in PvP, and will only activate against humanoid monsters. Instead, the effect that applies to another character in PvP will be replaced with a new one called extra damage to characters. This will reduce confusion by clearly distinguishing PvE and PvE. PvE and PvP. With this change, you might be worried about the items with extra damage to humans. This
So players are not humans anymore. We are not people, guys. We are characters.
That already have the extra damage.
Just let it sink in, okay?
Existing items will be updated in this way, and going forward will make appropriate use of extra damage to characters in various ways. There'll be some changes to extra damage to species itself. First, the extra damage to species will no longer exceed the AP limit for monster zones. In other words, it will not go over the soft cap. We're preparing a comprehensive rework to ensure that the difficulty...
So just extra damage is going to be useless now. Yeah, thank you.
There are also additional changes in store, so stay tuned for them too.
Just from now on, only increase raw AP against everything. And if you are PvPer, increase PvP against characters. Do not take anything else. They basically nerfed it. If it is not going over the cap now, shut up. If it is not going over the cap now, there is no reason to use that extra damage. Because you might as well just use all damage and be versatile and be able to use it everywhere. And you will get over the cap eventually. Even with like all AP. It's like, yeah, it's just... In PvE, it's no longer relevant, the extra damage. All that is relevant is extra damage to PvP characters.
Now be affected by extra damage to characters, not monsters. And something many adventurers have talked about. The fact that summons get stronger at night will be removed. Summons have always played a significant role in many skills in Black Desert. And it took longer than we anticipated with how much work was needed. I'm personally happy that we're finally able to tidy things up. We'll pay close attention until the end. Ensure these updates do not cause issues with balance. Okay.
Those are some fundamental changes.
Yeah. So, I'm now going to go over some of the PvP resistances.
Moving on to second key area, removing PvP resistances. Going forward, resistances quite literally will no longer apply in PvP. There are a few things to consider with this change. First, effects related to resistances is so-called 3-minute buffs or in passive effects will be replaced with other effects that suits characteristics. However, they will still be applied in PvE, so any resistance increases attached to skill will remain. One of the biggest concerns we had when removing resistances from PvP was grapple. With grapple resistance gone, grapple skills will become significantly more powerful, and classes with ranged grapple skills could become disproportionately strong compared to those with melee grapple. We plan to address this making distinguishable ranged grapple animations, for example, a wind-up animation when attempting a ranged grapple, and the speed and the style of these animations will play a key role in balancing. Melee grapples will also go through some adjustments. We'll put our best efforts into making this change, and it could be done in a different way in the future, as we consider various other methods while we prepare this change.
Oh.
That's nice. The wind-up is nice. Like, that's definitely going to be more telegraphed, it seems.
So just if they try to grab you, you will see the wind up and you will be able to knock them down. So just keep your floating and knock down skills
Resistance is not
ready.
used against monsters either, so the effect will be removed entirely. Items that currently increase or ignore grapple resistance will be converted to silver with the patch to be received by the adventurers.
Nice.
PvPers are going to be absolutely furious about this.
Grouping synergy
And the
multipliers.
Striker and Berserker hate
This, I think,
is going to increase significantly.
it's kind of split into three different things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, as you can see on the screen, synergy multipliers of classes will be applied in three different groups, depending on the characteristics of each class. If you look at Ranger, you'll notice that Succession and Awakening are placed in different groups. Succession Ranger uses a ranged weapon,
Yeah.
and Awakening primarily uses melee skills. Like this, as classes have different playstyles between Succession
No
and
way, you made it make
making
sense.
them more appropriate for different groups.
Wow.
We'll also carefully
That's actually
review each class to see if there are areas
interesting.
they're lacking or need
Okay.
improvement
I don't hate
until
this.
the patch goes live.
But
this is
it
kind
also
of
it
a
also
change
means
in
that
the
if you are
class
playing
damage
class
model.
like Ranger,
Right.
that is going to be
One more important thing.
plus ranged AP on Succession
we
and
have
plus
decided
melee
to
AP on
modify
Awakening.
mouse movement.
You will have to have like two
Subject
sets
as well.
of two sets of stones.
Yeah.
Mouse movement has been a feature since the very beginning, and many adventurers have become accustomed to it, which is why we've kept it in the game. But over time, it began to affect the balance of the game as it started to become a deciding factor in adventurer's skill level. So along with the
Yeah.
aforementioned changes, we're taking this opportunity to fully disable mouse movement. We understand that adventurers who
We are
use
no
this
longer
feature see
playing
mouse
point and
movement
click game,
as a
guys.
part of the character's balance,
That's good.
and that they could take the removal of the feature as a nerf or debuff to their character. Please note that we'll all be also making the appropriate improvements in its place.
Yeah. So this may
You have never
been
seen
very,
Video Ball that would
very,
take away
very,
so many stuff.
sudden for some, because it's not something that was mentioned last
I
year.
mean,
But as Wansu explained, there were many problems with it, and some structural issues that
I
needed
don't
to be
hate it.
fixed. Mouse movement forcibly changes
because
the
mouse
character's
movement, for example,
mid-animation,
the idea
which
behind the mouse
directly
movement
leads to issues such as
was good. It was for accessibility, right? But the only way people were using it was to abuse it in the PvP in certain scenarios. So if you have something like this in game, it's bad.
More enjoyable experience for everyone, as well as resolve the desync issue.
It's good they are taking away the trash.
So we can provide better PvP and a more stable combat environment.
If you leave the trash in your apartment for too long, it begins to stink.
I think
And the video has been quite stinky for quite some time now.
now, for the last key area, improving the sense of growth. Going forward, if your AP is above 310, you'll gain +5 extra AP against monsters for every point of AP. Of course, these are still under tests for balance adjustments, so the numerical values may change. But up until now...
I mean, yeah, but if you have Blue Alchemist Stone, like, you can get World's Heart, it's not that expensive on the market, right?
You likely notice that the impact of...
And you will be able to craft your own
much
yellow
less
stone now,
significant.
instead of the blue
This
one.
was intended
And so it's
to
going to be
reduce the
powerful
pressure
even in lower
As
tiers.
time passed, we
Those
decided
more
it's
obtainable
time for
tiers.
improvement.
And you will be able to,
For this,
like, fail stack it
we're reworking the
and cron it,
overall PvE
so you'll be
system
able to create the best
100%
eventually anyway.
to resolve this issue
It's like,
and create a better environment
nobody
for
is
everyone.
realistically using, like,
Previously,
blue
monster
and
zones
green
had an
stones. I was
unclear
partially
AP
joking when I
limit
said that
or
we are
soft
gonna
cap,
get robbed,
had
right?
inconsistent hunting efficiency. And some classes were even able to perform in higher level monster zones with lower AP.
So mind the language.
So, we first
Okay, we don't say fuck you in these streams. Well, we do,
requirement
but I do,
of
but
all
you
monster
shouldn't.
zones with care. Our goal is to clearly
Don't worry, I'm not
outline
going to ban
the
you or
required
anything. I'm just,
specs
you know, trying to
step by step, and to create a system
trying to
where falling
inspire
below the AP
young people
requirement
like you to be more
significantly
polite.
reduces your efficiency, while meeting the requirement provides clear rewards. We especially want you to really feel the result of increasing AP throughout
But you're
this
not losing
process.
anything,
That's why,
because
as a
their
part of this monster
features will
zone,
now be in the
we've
manos that you have
designed AP
anyway
limits or soft
for your
caps
delivering,
in a
right?
much more systematic way.
So you're gonna get paid for the silver embroidered cloth you have, and you also gonna get to keep your manos that you will be now able to use with the increases and the mastery. And then they buy manos. They're gonna give you silver.
To a higher level monster zone. So you have no reason to stay in the same zone. Since this patch
You can buy the blue ones, the Logia stuff or whatever they call.
For efficient hunting, we will reduce situations where monsters deal unexpectedly powerful attacks that can instantly incapacitate adventurers. In other words, preventing getting one-shot. Next, let's talk about DP. At this time, we don't have any additional plans for DP bonuses. We are still thinking over this, however. Since Black Desert is a field-based game, we want to leave some room for adventurers to make up for lower DP with their own
But it's
skills.
implied that
Our
it's going to be
philosophy is that while AP
on the other
has been
versions
met,
of
DP
mastery
separately
clothing
overcomes
as well.
skill.
But I would invest only in manos because like the odds are they're going to like remove Logia later from the game as well. They shouldn't, but who knows.
Monster zones, guys. In other words, instance dungeon content, if you don't meet the minimum DP, you won't be able to enter these types of content. That way, DP will still be a meaningful stat for those who work towards it. And it allows us to design the content to not be overwhelmingly difficult. Following this, boss blitz content such as Black Shrine or Ataraxian will have their AP and DP requirements adjusted. Like the monster zones, we plan to gradually ease the difficulty of content that felt too challenging.
This feels actually good, the thing that he is talking about right now.
Efficiency of field monster zones
Means like the game is going to be more streamlined, more easy to understand. You will know where you can go, where not.
Will require adventurers to make
A huge parts of confusion are getting removed. I don't hate
This will be
this.
our philosophy in redesigning all monster
It's not something I
zones
would
and
cheer about
content.
necessarily, but I don't
There are
hate
a lot of
this.
changes, but we'll try our best.
It's good that they are trying to combat the power creep. They are introducing power creep, right, over the time. And they are trying to tackle that power creep, make it more understandable.
Now that wraps up the introduction to the relevant changes with so many updates. Oh, we're not going into that part yet. Go ahead, chap. My bad. So as I was saying, this wraps up.
And like, if you suck today, you didn't have your coffee or something.
We hope there are people who see the positive side of bringing more structure and improvement, no matter how late it might feel. We too have our concerns about changing existing system. It's not the act of changing itself that worries us, but rather how these changes will affect our adventurers, you guys, how you might feel about it. Having love for this game, playing every day for years, and seeing it suddenly change could definitely make you feel a sense of loss or disappointment. Even so, we believe that the changes we've shared are essential for Black Desert to move forward and build a better future. We'll be putting all our efforts in, and we hope you'll continue to support us. There's a lot included in these updates, so we won't roll everything out at once. Starting from July, so from next week, the updates will be gradually introduced on the Black Desert Lab, where they will be tested and refined for about a month. We're aiming to we're aiming for the end of July for the live service updates, and we'll do our best for it.
We went a little ahead of him, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's
But it is a lot, and I think for a lot of adventures, it's a lot of big fundamental changes.
Yeah.
But it's kind of needed to make
right.
future stuff better, basically.
Yeah, a lot of this is 100% needed.
원래 챕터가 총 4개였었는데
There was like I think everyone will, I think I can understand now why this was called chapter 3.5.
Yeah.
It was really important. How do
We
you
are
feel, chat?
sitting 90 minutes on stream already,
what
and
do you think,
you
chat?
didn't say anything super important except the
Like, it's something
horses.
that's
Thumbs up, thumbs
something
down.
I think all these changes are kind of meant for the next 10 years of Black Desert. It felt especially meaningful.
In 10 years,
and
we're gonna get
but
this.
I think it's finally time for the next chapter, Adania.
Yeah.
But before we move on, it was a lot to take in, so we're going to have a small break to take it all in.
Water break.
Meanwhile, we'll have a clip with the ball schedule, so please go grab some water, hydrate, and we'll come back through the announcements. So in 10 minutes, everyone, 10 minutes. Then
Guys, we have 10 minutes of free time.
Bad chat. We're
We
about
can.
to step in.
The AFK fishing
Soon.
is intensifying. Let's go get some coffee. I already had a coffee.
Very soon.
I was sipping coffee watching your boring changes, Unrival. Anyway, we're on the break. People are saying in chat that the fact that things are going to be stat locked now, like hard stat lock, means that they probably want us to buy more crown stones so we upgrade our stat, and that every new update is going to be stat locked, which is kinda concerning, to be honest. It's basically live reading changelog. Yeah, it is. I said it's like they're treating it like developer stand up. Like, what the hell are you doing, guys? You know, the next Heidel Ball, they should just show us the GitHub. Like, read it for yourself. That's about it. I don't know. Look at them. Literally celebrities. Their headquarters in Korea is wild. Look at this. It's like they have a toy gun shooting range in there. What the hell? It's probably to train your hunting mastery. Like, people are kinda invested in the chat, commenting on the changes and everything.
안녕하세요. 비트펠라우스입니다.
검은 사막에 초대해 주신 모험가 여러분들, 너무 감사합니다. 모험가 여러분들의 여정을 응원합니다.
I don't understand what you're saying, guys. I can't speak Korean. I'm learning Spanish too. So, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué tal? Buenos días. Okay, that's the extent of my knowledge. So far. DM. Whatever. Let's watch something more engaging. Let's watch this instead for now. I'm gonna open my magic fish tank and we can see the progress of my fishies. I have 2 golden fish. Where is my beltfish? Come on, guys. It's Heidel Ball. It should be 100% drop rate on beltfish. Straight up. For the, you know that would be huge if, like, during every Heidel Ball we would be fishing up only beltfish. People would love Heidel Ball, straight up. I can guarantee you. I will ask for a job as like a PR person in like desert. I'm gonna be suggesting these kind of changes for them. Okay, status update. The cat pestering me on my table. He just dumped his tail into the bowl of water we are keeping here for them so they could drink. So he dumped his tail in it and then walked across my table. It just made everything wet. Sorry if you're hearing the sirens, I think there's a fire somewhere. The content looking behind the AP and DP, or mostly behind DP, I don't know about that. Like, we are already locked out of content. If you go somewhere, the mobs will kill you, but you can at least go there. How it's gonna look like if they just kick you out? It's very kinda... You know, for dungeons, I would understand. I just hope they're not going to introduce this for the overworld content. That would be bad. That would take away the sandboxiness. And we would lean more into World of Warcraft territory. And quite frankly, if Black Desert Online would be more like a theme park MMO rather than sandbox MMO, that really wouldn't be incentive to play this. Like, I can play World of Warcraft if I want to play theme park, right? I'm playing BDO because I love the sandboxiness. So I hope this is for dungeons only. I got a fish and I got nothing. Okay, I got scammed. Whatever. Let's go back to the actual content. 30 seconds. Somebody, I've written in the chat the same thing that I just said. Somebody saying that they did confirm it's going to be only for instance content, and in that case, like, it's whatever. I don't hate it. Like, I don't go to instance content that I don't have stats for anyway, because it would either mean I am in the party and I'm a hindrance to the party, or I'm going there alone and I won't be able to clear it anyway. So it's like whatever.
점점 더 고조되어가는 빛의 진원국이 숙명의 대결 앞에 어리석은 나를 마주하고 숭고한 신앙 앞에 의심하는 나를 마주하고
This Hush looks confused. What are you doing, bro?
허망한 배신 앞에 방보라는 나를 마주하게
He got obliterated by a Corsair, what the hell?
확신하는 나를 마주하니 기억하거라. 짐은 이 모든 파멸의 끝에서 그대를 기다리겠노라.
Okay, welcome
back.
back from the break chat. I hope everyone's excited with that little
Did
trailer.
you see that panel? It's like
That
Castlevania
looked
is
like a
finally
dog
here.
in the video. So let's go right into chapter 4.
업데이트 발표 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
Okay. Here we go. Done.
Are we ready for chapter 4?
Yes. We're going to look at the new region Idan.
You know, props up for their UI designer who did make these panels for them with like changing stuff as like we are leveling up as we are going. That looks actually cool.
Idani is located
They have
near
good
the
marketing team.
You might remember the strait you cross to reach Hakoven Island. Idani is the continent that stretches above these cliffs. In the story of Black Desert, this region is occasionally mentioned under the name Ilieli. Back in 2020, when the Hashashin was first introduced, we caught our first glimpse of its silhouette in the trailer. The Hashashins who guarded the doors of Ilieli appear as main NPCs in Adania. These heroes have battled monsters at the world's edge, waging a solitary war that goes unseen and unrecognized.
Maybe I should respect back
As
to
we
my
shared
Hashashin
last
main
year,
then.
Idani is planned to be released in parts 1 and
He's happy fisherman now.
You can see the full map of Idania on the screen. The upcoming part 1 will take place on the left side of the continent, and part 2 on the right. At the southwestern tip of Adania, you'll find Hakinje Sanctuary, your new base camp. This town offers services such as a blacksmith and a stable. To the right of the town are the castles of Idana. You can see Jordine's Etherean Castle, Enslar's Orbiter Castle, and Kafris Zephyros Castle, which were teased during the last ball. Today, we're also introducing 2 castles for the first time. Rashalka's Nymphomare Castle and Kashin's Tenebram Castle. Yes, it's Jordine yet again, and Kafris well known thanks to Kafris stones and Altar of Blood. Enslar and Kashin probably sound familiar, so those who played Valkyrie and Sorceress, but I don't think many of you would have heard of Rashalka.
It's not Rushalka, it's Rusalka, dude.
Back on May
And
21st,
I've heard of her in
we
Warframe already,
include
so
the sea crystal item
also
as a
in
special
Opera.
quest. We've been gradually building up to reveal
From
the
Antonín
story
Dvořák,
of
I
the
believe.
merfolk, the race of Corsair's mother, and you'll discover even more intriguing stories connected to these characters in Adania. Part 1 of Adania features 5 castles and monster zones in this way. In terms of difficulty, the order is Jordine, Rasalka, Kashian, Enslar, then Kafris. For the final boss of Part 1, Kafris will be waiting.
tell us the stats requirements
We're
then.
also preparing several castles for Part 2. To give just
Hope
one
it's going to be
spoiler,
like a roguelike or
building
something.
a massive castle at the northern edge of Adania. The lord of this castle is the black dragon Mark Thanon, whom you met in the Mountain of Eternal Winter. We hope you look forward to Adania Part 2, coming in the near future. As Adania marks the culmination of Black Desert's first 10 years, we have paid close attention to every detail, from the background to the stories of each character. We took extra care in selecting the bosses adventurers would encounter in Adania. Because we believe these moments when you encounter legendary beings you've only heard about during the story, or only met through their voices are important. So that when you finally stand before the ultimate boss of this world, it will feel truly meaningful and convincing. Through this journey of overcoming her, the story will naturally lead into the next 10 years of Black Desert.
Both of you assume
With this
your
in mind,
game will
the
be up
characters
for
we
next 10
introduced
years though.
earlier, Enslar, the apostle of the Elonian Church, the world's largest religion, Kashian, connected to the true nature of the Black Spirit, your adventuring partner, Jordine, and Kafris, both closely tied to the power of darkness, and Rasalka, the queen of the mermaids, Corsair's bloodline, whose story has remained untold until now. have been chosen as bosses of Edania, Part 1. As you confront these bosses, you'll gain a clear understanding of the key lore elements scattered throughout the story so far, and know exactly who you must face in Part 2 of Edania, the finale of Black Desert's first act, and why you must defeat her. I'm sure many of you are also curious about the story in Edania. I can imagine some of the questions you might have, like, so, is this finally the end? Are we really going to take down Alezra this time? But this time, Edania will be truly different. We've carefully prepared a story that will make you say it was worth the wait, and the loose ends that need to be tied up with the fully resolved in Part 1. And Part 2 will leave you excited for the next chapter of the adventure.
Oh, time to start making my Striker lore breakdown of the game so far and do all the quests, right?
We hope you enjoyed the story as you look back on your journey so
Please
far.
no more soul content. No more Land of Morning Light content.
You'll need to have
Story-wise, please. And no more cowgirls or cowboys.
Previously, you could only start
And I'll
the
be
next
happy.
quest with the character who completed the previous one, which was inconvenient for many of you. This time, as long as you've completed the final Gladios, you can start Edania main quest with any character in your family, so you can enjoy the story with the class you want. That wraps up the overview of what's to come. Now, Wansu will take over and share the details with you.
Let me introduce the monster zones, bosses, and loot you'll find in Edania. First, the monster zones in Edania are similar to existing ones, but with some differences. Monsters are loyal to each castle zone will be played around the castle. You'll battle these monsters as you would in the other monster zones, and battle against the lords, as known as the bosses, will take place within their castle. The castle with the lowest difficulty is Jordine's Atarian Castle, which requires 350 AP and 427 DP. Since it's a monster zone at the beginning of Edania, we didn't want to set requirements too high. At first glance, the AP and DP requirements for the first region might seem a bit high, but since we are preparing many new updates alongside Edania, we expect adventurers will be able to enter monster zones sooner than you might think. As mentioned earlier, the first monster zone and the boss fight against Jordine will have the requirements that most adventurers can meet, but the bosses that follow will have significantly higher AP and DP requirements. The AP requirements for later castles go from 360, 365, 370 and up to 380, and DP requirements will also rise steadily up to 460. You might think the DP requirements are a bit too high, but I will explain this further later.
380 AP requirements. Here we go.
As mentioned earlier, the difficulties of
It's
these monster
like-
zones are
okay.
designed with incremental levels. They are divided to provide a clear sense of progress, and this design will continue naturally. Not only into Part 1, but Part 2 as well. Each monster zone and boss will feature a new mechanic and variety of combat, which I'm sure many of you are eager to learn more about. So
Bro,
today,
I'm
we
never
prepared
going
a
to
video
reach that high
showcasing a
IP.
battle with the new boss.
350 AP
Let's watch
for the
let's
lowest
watch the
zone.
video before
Are you insane?
I explain.
It's like full sovereign weapons and full Karazat, and maybe you're there. But like, okay. Make a story mode, please, without loot, so we can at least glance at the story. Somebody in chat just written this is Metin 2 from Lidl. As that must be the most creative and also the biggest insult in the universe.
Okay, nice.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Nobody is even clapping. Like that guy is browsing
There
his
will be a total
phone.
of 5 bosses in
Nobody
Edania,
cares
and you'll
about
be only
this.
able to take
Oh my god.
one boss per week. To make up for this, we made it so that the higher the difficulty, better the loot you'll receive. Since this is weekly content and we don't want to make it overly challenging, and because this is another major boss update following Ataraxion and Black Shrine, we didn't want to overwhelm adventurers. So just one boss a week is all you need to focus on.
일주일에 딱 한 마리만 처치하면 되도록 설계했습니다. 그래서 이제 다음으로는 에다니아에서 얻을 수
I know
있는
like a lot of people are worried about APTP.
Now let's move on the loot that you can earn in Edania.
We don't want to make it overly difficult, so it's only 350 AP, guys. It's actually okay. It's okay, everything's
With
fine.
the loot together defeating monsters in Edania, you'll be able to reform your existing artifacts, like decky artifacts, to craft entirely new ones. You can also create new light stones by combining existing ones with the new materials. Let me show you an example of a new artifact and light stone. Let's take a look at the screen.
인도하는 데키아의 유물입니다.
Okay. So,
기존 데키아 유물보다 모든 공격력이 6 추가가 되었습니다.
this is Dekia's Visionary Artifact. Compared to the regular Dekia's Artifact, this one gives an additional all AP plus 6. Here, we have the Amplified Lightstone of Fire, Fallen. It grants additional extra damage to species plus 2. Then, the regular Lightstone of the Fire Fallen. Also, if the Lightstones are the same type, like Lightstone of Fire, Fallen, and Amplified Lightstone of Fire, Fallen, they're still combined according to usual rules, and provide the same combination effects as before. In Edania, we're also introducing a new monster type, Edanian monsters. As the name suggests, the monsters you'll encounter here will be classified as Edanian monsters, and we're adding new extra damage to Edanian monster stat. New crystals items will also have this new stat. Earlier, we mentioned the extra damage to species will no longer contribute to breaking through the max AP limit. That said, the AP requirements now playing a much bigger role in entering high-tier monster zones. If this extra damage to Edania monsters will be crucial to stat for adventurers. We're adding new crystal items for Edania. From low-tier monster zones, you can obtain the Crystal of Dusky Oblivion, and from high-tier monster zones, the Crystal of Dusky Ruin. Both come with extra damage to Edanian monsters, to be sure to make the most of them and take on higher-tier monster zones. We're also introducing a new life crystal, the Crystal of Breathing Verdure. Think of this as upgraded versions that combine the effects of both the life skill crystal of vital life crystal and the vital crystal. It improves.
I should have stayed in bed today. I shouldn't have wake up for this.
So, you no longer have to switch between crystals for different setups. These can be crafted using materials gathered from new life skill resources in Edania. And please note, we're also working on making it possible to upgrade existing Dawn crystals. Now let's talk about alchemy. With the introduction of extra damage to Edania monsters, new elixirs drafts and 2 new perfume recipes will be added. Okay, I've got it. As you can see on the screen, new elixirs will be available. Also, with PvP-related perfumes like the Perfume of Courage and Perfume of Deep Sea in high demand lately, we're planning to add new, high-quality perfume recipes in Edania as well. The new perfumes can be crafted with materials from Edania, and you can also use existing perfumes as ingredients. For those who've been crafting the existing perfumes, you've probably continued making them in older regions even after new areas were added. Now, existing perfumes can be used as ingredients for the new ones, and the new perfumes can also be crafted in Edania. Hopefully, this gives you more flexibility and crafting options. There are also 2 more.
Dude, my head hurts. What are you saying? I don't understand.
And Gem of the Primordial. These are essential materials for crafting the Sovereign sub-weapon. As we mentioned earlier, you'll be able to use existing items to craft the Sovereign sub-weapon in a variety of ways. Adventurers aiming for the fast advancement towards high-tier zones in Edania can utilize pre-existing materials, while adventurers who want to steady progress from the start of Edania can use these materials and aim for sovereign sub-weapons. Please do note that crafting the sub-weapon with the Gem of Primordial will take longer than other routes mentioned. 1,000 primordial fragments are required to craft the Gem of Primordial, which will be used to craft the sovereign sub-weapon. Fragments will be obtainable through multiple sources, including weekly
Where is the free stuff? We didn't get anything so far.
And weekly quests. For instance, when you finish the main quest line, you are guaranteed to obtain 100 primordial fragments per family. Okay.
If you guys think anything is confusing, we'll have the recap on the
Yeah,
website
yeah.
and our SNS as well. Please
Absolutely.
make sure to
Next,
check it out.
we have a video.
Next
coming
up, yeah, we have the main spoils from Adania, but first, a video.
They're gonna end with goodies so people stop being pissed. Yeah, you're probably right.
What you just saw. Wait for
Was
it.
sovereign
There's
armor,
clappies
please?
first. The clappies. I need to pause.
That
Pause.
deserved that
Pause.
tone.
What you just saw is the new primordial grade defense gear, Idana's defense gear.
Let's go.
As the next tier after Slumbering Origin defense gear, the new Idana's defense gear, especially the gloves and shoes, features a unique design that combines both damage reduction and evasion, much like how the Sovereign sub-weapon was designed as a blend of Nuva and Kuta. Right now, Slumbering Origin defense gears faces challenges. Similar to what the new Deboreka accessories, enhancing Tet to Pen was set to be extremely
Called it.
difficult.
I freaking called it. I
Alternate
called it
methods,
yesterday. I
pushing
called
your
it
DP
last
higher
week.
was a major
We are gonna
struggle.
get
With
new
Idana's
armor.
defense gear, we
Why?
want to take a
Because they
similar approach to
buffed.
last year's Sovereign weapons and Kara's
Because they
accessories.
buffed the
But
ability
since
to
we also
get
revealed
those
the Sovereign sub-weapon today,
existing armors,
releasing
so
all
we can
4
craft
defense
this.
gear pieces at once might be overwhelming. So, for Idana's defense gear, we've simplified the crafting process, but limited how often you can obtain the required enhancement materials. This helps prevent players from skipping multiple enhancement levels simply by having enough resources. If that sounds familiar, it's because I've said something similar when we first introduced sovereign weapons. This time, I'm not going to repeat the same mistake. To craft Idana's defense gear,
Okay.
you combine your existing Tet Slumbering Origin defense gear with 1 fragment of Idana. You can get a fragment of Idana immediately after.
It's not only like feature
defeating a
creep,
boss
it's
with
feature,
Idana.
it's absolutely
So,
try-hard
you have
feature creep.
Tet Slumbering Origin defense gear.
This is going to be
You
very
start
difficult to
crafting it
craft.
immediately. However, enhancing to Idana's defense gear requires a special material called Idana's Black Stone, which is crafted using fragment of Idana. Since you can only defeat 1 boss and earn 1 fragment of Idana per week, enhancing your gear to Idana's defense gear will take a very long time. If you already have Tet Slumbering Origin defense gear, you can craft and enhance each piece gradually. If you're still working towards it, you can gather fragments of Idana by defeating Idana's bosses ahead of time and plan accordingly.
That
Currently,
slumbering
players
god
managed to
defense
overcome
gear
the
is
challenge
hard
of
to get
10
as it is.
Slumbering Origin defense gear. As of June
Then you will be
23rd,
able to progress like you will be able to do 1 tap
77 adventurers
once per week.
10 Slumbering Origin
It's
defense
probably
gear.
the
Total of
enhancement chance is going to be probably very
Since these
bad.
players have conquered
This-
such a difficult feat, they'll be recognized accordingly.
This will log the game. This will log the progress from so many people.
Anyone who already owns Pen Slumbering Origin defense gear can immediately convert it to Oct Idana's defense gear. As I mentioned earlier, because upgrading Idana's defense gear all the way to Oct will take a significant amount of time, you'll be ahead of other adventurers in the world for that time. As for the enhancement difficulty, the success rate from Tet to Pen is 14.87% with 240 stacks, and from Sept to Oct it's 4.99% with 310 stacks. The Ancient Anvil system will also be applied, which we set to 30 Agris Essence for Oct. Please keep in mind, we've set a lower difficulty and the Ancient Anvil attempt
Bro, this is-
compared to Sovereign Weapons in consideration of limitation
This enhancement
in
mechanics is
material
such a
acquisition.
pile of garbage. Everybody
There's
hates it.
something else to share
But they still
design of
introducing
Idana's
more and more.
defense gear. As the
Just to
best
sell more
defense gear
consoles.
that will exist in the game, it
So bad.
features an unparalleled design worthy of its name. Since the equipment is based on the world of Edania, it carries a dark and intense aura, with a design that radiates primordial power. We've also prepared exclusive visual effects that will be unlocked at Pen and Oct. We plan to continue this approach in future designs, enhancing Adventurer's immersion.
This is not
years
good,
obtained
actually.
in the game.
This is
On
not
the
good.
other
Like, locking it, time gating it one tap per week with these dogpile,
Not that we're going to
bad,
only focus on modern outfits.
very bad,
Simply
like, enhancement
we'll
chances.
continue trying out
310
designs
fail
that
stacks,
illustrates a bit
14%,
more, as long as you
4%,
enjoy them.
310 fail stacks, once per week.
So please, continue to support us.
Yeah, I'm not going to continue to support you, dude. I'm not going to buy any more barrels. Look at the audience. They don't care. This guy, he looks like the life left
So
him.
if you collect all 4 of Adana's defense gear, we'll give you an outfit set identical to the gear. You can use it on your main or give it to an alt.
본캐 사용하셔도 되고 아니면 부캐 주셔가지고 활용하는 것도 좋을 것 같습니다. 네, 이해가 조금 샜는데 다시 원래
And this is for you to enjoy its
이번에는
design
눈같이 이야기를
by
더 해야 될것
itself.
같아요. 이번에
That's
에다나
pretty
장갑과
awesome.
신발이 이제 피감 회피가 통합되고 좀 군항
I got a little sidetracked, but let's get back to the main topic. This time, I like to talk more about the stats. As we mentioned earlier, damage reduction and evasion are combined in Adana's gloves and shoes, and likewise, for Nuva and Kutum stats.
This
are
is
double
like
weapons.
such try-hard and sweaty
This
content.
increases the overall
And like
stats,
2 years
especially
from
damage
now,
reduction and
they're gonna give us
evasion. The more offensive
some of
power
these
is
things
needed
for
to
free,
balance.
or
There are
like
2 major changes. First,
marginalize the
AP
progress
of Sovereign
anyway.
main and awakening
So let's
weapons.
have fun wasting your next
They
2
will
years
gain
of
an
life
extra AP plus
tryharding
pen,
this,
Hex, and Sept.
only for this to
For
be
a total
invalidated later
of
anyway.
plus 3 AP. Additionally, reforming your sovereign weapon will grant another plus 3 AP. That's a total of 6 AP. With these changes, a reformed Oct sovereign weapon will go from 146 AP to 152 AP. There's something extra you need to do. If you already own it, it will be applied immediately without patch. But there's something about that that's odd, right? You can't upgrade sovereign main weapons at the moment. So with this patch, we're adding sovereign main weapon reform as well. Reformed sovereign main weapon will receive the AP plus 3 bonus. And to help balance the increased evasion, they'll gain an additional plus 50 accuracy. Oh, and please note that the main weapon upgrade for the sovereign weapon only. But for
Seeing
the
this
upgrade, you need a Gamma
is
Heart,
actually
which
making me slightly depressed. Just knowing that the time investment to get any of this is going to be so huge. And it's going to be so infuriating.
Garmoth's heart, more precisely, an inverted heart of Garmoth that cannot be traded, as I mentioned earlier.
See really happy faces there.
Sorry, as I mentioned earlier, the original plan was to introduce the AP increase per enhancement level for Sovereign Weapon, and the main weapon upgrade alongside Edania, but we will be giving it out early with the update of July 9th. So, you can enjoy the boosted AP right after the ball. That said, the plus 50 accuracy might feel a bit too significant at the moment, so we hope for your understanding and patience on that part. If you already have 2 Garmoth Hearts, you can use it on your main weapon right away. If you don't have any yet, you can start working towards whichever one you prefer first. That concludes my explanation. The stats for Adana's defense gear have been set with both PvE and PvP in mind, as well as the future direction of the game. We'll stay focused until the end to avoid any major issue and ensure everything is smoothly integrated into the world over time without causing chaos. See, chat, we're getting our extra stats ready for Edania.
Let's go.
You were worried, but let's go.
Finally, I would like to introduce a new PvP content, the highlight of the Edania update.
PvP!
It was briefly mentioned last year, and it's Edana's throne. As explained before, each castle in Edania is ruled by its own lord, who serves as the boss. Adventurers who challenge and conquer the castle first can become the new lord and rule its dominion as an Edana. By becoming an Edana, you will sit on the throne with immense power. Those attending the ball in person probably saw a throne on this very stage under a spotlight before the update reveal began. That is actually one of the Edana's thrones you will see inside Kafros Zephyros castle. Being an Edana means being the absolute ruler. The path to throne isn't easy, and even after becoming an Edana, you must defend your lordship from challengers. To become Edana, you must first defeat the boss. By doing so, you'll be deemed worthy
Look at this.
and gain the
I've
right
made
to join the
infinite
battle
loop
of
of my
Edanas.
stream on my
Held
stream.
at set time each week. However, not everyone can participate.
It
Only
just
10
keeps
selected
going.
adventurers will be battling. For example,
Keep
if
opening
there are
more and more
100
screens. Look.
adventurers, the 7 of the highest combined AP and DP are selected, and 3 adventures are chosen at random from the remaining 93. The 10 chosen adventures will gather at a designated day and time and place to fight. There are no rules, and the only last standing adventurer becomes the Edana. This battle takes place in an instance area, and it's not broadcasted anywhere. The Edana will have a week to enjoy their lordship, and a new adventure will be chosen through the same process after a week. The chosen adventurer becomes the challenger and will duel the defending Edana, and with the victor becoming the new Edana. Edanas must accept this challenge every week, and if they are absent or lose the duel, they will lose their lordship. There isn't a separate Edana for each server. Across all servers, one adventurer with 5 master zones is designated as Edana. Edanas gain an immense amount of power. First, you will receive an exclusive crown, uniquely designed to match the theme of each castle. Wearing this crown allows you to use world chat and server chat without consuming a megaphone or energy. A crown icon will be displayed next to your character's name and your family name in chat. Then, the taxes. Each monster zone in Edania
Yes, the interesting part, the money
Unlike
that
before,
we're gonna
you must
get.
purchase a pass to access this realm. A portion of this revenue from this will go directly to Edana. Also, Edanas do not have cooldown when switching servers near their castle or any death penalties. This also applies the same way even if you attack other adventurers first. You will truly be an absolute ruler. Edanas could die, try to kill someone, and get killed instead. Still, nothing is going to happen because of no death penalty benefit. Just keep in mind, this benefit only applies near the castle they rule. Lastly, Edanas can bestow a blessing. When an Edana blesses, all adventurers subjugating near their castle gains the item drop rate plus 100% buff for 2 hours.
Ooh, okay.
The blessings stake this buff up to 400% instead of 300, making it very valuable. But it can be used 10 times over the 1 week of your rule.
Oh, that's you're actually like
The Lord.
like Lord. You micromanage the
Demon Lord.
the zone.
That is it on the powers of Edana. To give an example to you, really feel its strength, as an Edana, you could server hop freely and go around disciplining adventurers who are using Master Zone instead of paying taxes. Or, if a guildmate or friend wants to PvE outside of the Minor Realm, but all spots are taken, you could grant them access by clearing a spot yourself.
Oh boy.
Asking, please, I can grind here.
Please.
Every aspect of the Monster Zone is controlled by Edana. Now, I know this might cast Edanas in a bad light, but I also think it's important for them to use this blessing wisely and keep things balanced.
Okay.
So the new content is literally the elitism club.
Try and unlike previous content.
You know, you can only go there if you have like 350 AP.
Around individuals.
Then there is going to be Lord who is going to be a nuisance.
Only a limited
It's like it's rewarding no lifers. I mean, good on them. It's just like I feel detached from the game at the moment.
Servers, we hope this content becomes more than just a competition. We want it to feel like a true RPG experience, where adventurers interact and influence each other. We'll do our best to make sure everything is thoroughly prepared and polished. That concludes our introduction to Edania. What do you think about it, chat? What do we think?
You don't want to hear what I think. I think it's pile of garbage.
Black Desert's lore, after Land of the Morning
I think it's pile of garbage. Okay, I'm gonna keep grinding Honglums.
I'm sure the release date is what you're most curious about. Edania will be updated on August 6th for all regions except for console and Chinese server. Throughout July, we'll roll out major patches including balance adjustments and a full rework of monster zones. Once those are completed, we'll make sure everything continues smoothly in Edania update in August. We're putting it our utmost effort. So please, continue to support us. Thank you.
That's
Global chat.
that's a lot. I think we could.
Nice.
Here's a round of applause for our two presenters.
They're tanking.
Yeah, we've had a lot of announcements today.
Yeah.
From last part about Edania.
Like not even community managers know what to think about
our
this.
MC is talking about how
Like they're trying hard to find a way, you know, and Life and the boys they're trying to find a way how to cheer this up. But like not even they are speechless.
For him, those kind of nostalgic memories made this Edania update all the more exciting for him. And he hopes that turns out great. And the MC is asking if he can always be invited back every year, not just this year, but every year, as he really enjoys seeing our adventurers' excited faces. But this isn't the end. There's still something we mentioned at the start that we have to come back to. I think it's finally time for the new class.
Everyone?
Surprise, surprise. Is it going to be a monkey?
Everyone.
Is it going to be a monkey boy? Is it going to be a monkey boy wearing a stick?
The 30th class of Black Desert.
Oh no.
Wukong.
It's the Wukong.
No.
I think
It's the Black Myth himself.
kind of know already.
He looks
But it is Wukong.
kind of like a
class.
dude, not like a monkey though.
Yeah, I think people guessed.
So a lot of
If you would make female Wukong, that would be a power move though.
Dragon Ball and Wukong related contents have been really popular lately. But still, he thinks many were surprised to hear that the Monkey King is coming to Black Desert. So how did
He has been on mobile for like 40 years.
The new class, Wukong, began development in August 2020 under the concept of Aventurer, inspired by Ashura and Rakshasa. And then in April 26, 2022, it was released as Xingse on the Chinese server of Black Desert Mobile, even before BDO. And now today, we're excited to present the new class with its official name, Wukong, to all you watching.
Right, Xingse. You've probably seen him on the Chinese mobile server already, but his look has changed a bit, and he has a new haircut. I think he definitely looks a bit more handsome than before.
Since the class was revealed,
He's not a monkey.
some of you
That's a
might
lot.
not find it as fresh as expected. While Wukong shares some similarity to Xingse on Black Desert Mobile, we've made extensive adjustments to optimize the experience for PC players. We'll dive into the details soon and showcase his skills in the combat trailer.
So excited.
Yeah, I've been a Wukong main since the
Oh my
dawn of
God.
time. Since the dawn of time.
Our host is actually hosting at the Wukong. Isn't Wukong a monkey in the Journey of the West? So some people thought Wukong would also be in the shape of a monkey. Yeah. But it turns out he's just a human. And after all the introduction of Edania, the connection to it seems a bit kind of weak. So we're very curious about Wukong's background.
Well, we'll get to Edania in just a moment. But Wukong is set as a descendant of the Sun Wukong from Journey to the West. So Wukong in Black Desert is 100% human, but has an extraordinary energy hidden within him. And just like his ancestor, Wukong is fated to meet a special woman. We all know Lan. The details of their ties and what story unfolds from their encounter will be revealed through the story quests.
We know we are turning this into full-blown K-drama.
We all look forward to it.
We are just having K-drama.
Without
Straight
further
up.
ado, let's look at the combat, which is I think what most adventurers are looking forward to.
Yeah. Show us his moves.
Show us his moves.
Let's go.
Is he going to be a CEO?
Combat trailer.
I wonder. Is he going to be a CEO, and Lan is going to be his secretary? That I would watch that. Loki. I think his significant other, though, should have been Tamer, because he stole her stuff, so... Also, it looks good. I think I will enjoy playing this class. But then again, it's a freaking Wukong, of course. Like, everybody likes Monkey. I just hope it's... Wow, that's cool. I just hope it's not going to be like your classical Succession Awakening. I hope he's going to be like one of those new classes that have basically Awakening and Succession incorporated. You know, like Archer, like Deadeye. Imagine you awaken as a Sun Wukong and suddenly you don't have a staff anymore. Like, that would be absolutely stupid. But he has his flying cloud. Look at this. This is actually cool. I love this. I love this. I'm gonna have so much fun on season, especially after Deadeye. I don't enjoy Deadeye, if you couldn't tell.
Damn! Did you see that 200% taking his hair out for the clones?
There's like there's something
was
like
so
that
good.
was a lot. Like he was so like intense, but in the video we got a general sense of how the class plays, but he used a different weapon than a power pole.
You can say you enjoy Valkyr. I mean, you don't really play Valkyr.
As Wukong's descendant,
You were
the new
leveling
class
up
does
by,
use the power pole as his
by
main
reaching on
weapon.
my Hong level,
He
no?
also has an awakening weapon called Jade Pillar. Unlike his extendable pole, the Jade Pillar is all about growing larger. Attacks with the pillar are also much more destructive. Since the two weapons transition smoothly, Wukong is designed as a flexible Ascension class.
As his Ascension class. Good, good. I'm so sick of this fucking Succession Awakening bullshit. Just get rid of it. Make every class ascended.
The basic combat style with the power pole is all about fast, concise combos. Rather than explaining, let me show you directly.
The grab.
Wow, so fast. As you just saw, while the attack range isn't huge, Wukong excels at chaining quick attacks into long combos. He can also use Do energy stored in his gourd bottle to tap into power of his ancestors. This unleashes the Fighting Buddha state. When the gourd bottle is full, you can activate Fighting Buddha and fight in
I think you would like Striker
When the
then.
Fighting
It's
Buddha,
very similar.
Wukong achieves enlightenment and can fully unleash the power poles through strength. Again, it's better to show than tell, so let's watch a skill combo video of the Fighting Buddha.
Oh, it's extending the pole. Damn.
What do you think? As you saw, once you enter Fighting Buddha state, your power pole starts to stretch, increasing your attack range and letting you land big, satisfying attacks. And if you paid close attention, when you land hits with your extended power pole, your next skill will instantly close the distance to the target. So as long as you keep hitting, you'll naturally move towards enemies, instead of standing still, allowing for continuous combat. Also, while in the Buddha state, shadows appear to help you in battle. They are not quite like Maegu's illusory doubles, but more like Strikers echo spirit in nature, as they assist you in combat. The Fighting Buddha state isn't one of ultimate. You can maintain it as long as you like. You just need to keep
I'm gonna quit
absorbing
video.
low
I'm
energy
just going to
from
play
enemies
Black
with your
Myth
core
Wukong
battle
instead.
now and then. While the attack range increases and shadow appears in this state, your combo speed will decrease compared to basic combat mode. And since some people might have missed it, here's a separate video of Wukong atop at Flying Nimbus. Let's take a look.
이것도 한 번 더 보시면 좋을 것 같아서 따로 영상 준비해봤습니다.
Nimbus.
This is really cool.
Fascinating.
That explains the video chasing Lan.
Oh,
I
he's
love
chilling.
the freaking flying. I love it, and especially like with Lan and her air jumps. This is actually cool.
Really cool.
It reminds
Yeah,
me.
so to
It
sum
reminds me
things
the
up,
flying like
as you've
Dracanias.
seen, the new Wukong class features a fast-paced, combo-heavy combat style. The signature Fighting Buddha state lets you pull off some exhilarating moves, and with the Flying Nimbus, you'll have the mobility you need when you need it. That said, what players call poke mobility is a bit of weak point. Short dashes aren't is its strong suit. However, Wukong does have a grab skill, so in PvP you can keep your distance. Wait for your opponent to make a move, then punish them with a solid counter. That's another way to approach combat with this class.
I think we can thank them all for that explanation. Well, we can't say it's
That's
totally
awesome.
new and fresh, but it's definitely a class we can look forward to.
Absolutely, we have worked hard on this, so I hope everyone is excited.
네, 50은 네, 저희
I think all this sounds great, but when is it releasing?
허준님이 직접
Hojun, I think you know how we do things here. Maybe you should make the announcement.
We're gonna be able to play him like today, or maybe next week. Yeah, next week.
It's coming July 2nd. We hope you're as excited as we are.
Let's go.
Time for market.
I have a week to finish season on my Dadai. That's doable.
Back.
연구소 점검이 끝나면
Be steaming some season finishers.
Also, after the ball, you can try out the new Wukong class on the Black Desert Global Lab starting today. Hope you enjoy checking out in advance, as the console release schedule for Wukong will
You should be
announced
canonically like best friends with Striker.
And before,
You know, Striker and Mystic,
Ah,
Wukong and Lan going to a double date.
mentioned Didani
I can
mode,
see the
right?
potential of the K-drama here.
what could it be?
We'd like to share
또 아까 이제 허준님께서
CEO of apes and CEO of monkeys with their
share
girlfriends.
something.
Yeah,
maybe
that's a
possibly,
K-drama in my.
보고 먼저 얘기할게요.
one
the
of
make-
our upcoming concepts with you today. Let's show it right now.
What could this be?
I wonder what that is, chat.
What is that?
양손 대검을 들고 있는 뭔가 성스럽기도 하고 너무 아름다운 대검 역해요?
아, 네, 맞습니다. 지금 보시는 캐릭터는 저희 내부 개발명 세이비어고요.
Is internally named Savior. As you can see, she is a female knight who wields a two-handed greatsword. Some of you might already have guessed her vibe from her character design and the dev name. We're creating a character for all those adventurers who dream of a female two-handed greatsword class, while Dracania portrays a dragoon wielding a Zweihander. Savior's weapon resembles a claymore, and as you can see from his size,
No, it does
she'll be
not. Have
closer
you
to
ever
a
seen a
female version of
claymore?
Awakening Warrior.
Claymore is a Scottish
I've also
weapon,
been maining this class since,
and it does not look like this, dude. I know something about swords.
That's my tag.
Tagging and switching
Monkey and
between.
Savior, that's it. Today we focused on introducing the Adania content, but the new class we revealed, Wukong, doesn't really tie in with Adania. We know a lot of adventurers were hoping for a new class that fits with Adania. Savior is the class that fits Adania both narratively and in design. We'll do our best to present the best version of this class.
I think now the question is,
Rule of cool, she rocks. I like her. I like her outfit. I like her design.
We
I'm
have
gonna
not
play
yet
her.
finalized her release date, but we're planning to sync her release with Adania Part
let's go.
2. please look forward to it.
It's like half a year, probably longer.
Sounds great. And I don't think we were waiting for such a new
Probably going to be
another
more
new
than a
class,
year,
actually.
though.
Many of them thought it's enough.
And today we've made this journey with our adventures from the ancient stone chamber all the way to Adania, and we also took a look at the new classes. But usually we move on to talk about summer events and outfits.
You know how cooked they are. You know, like they always announcing things. They want to shock the audience, so they are announcing things that they are already only in concept. It's just so
I
cringe.
said we'd shine more of a spotlight on the honor and achievements of PvP players and truly recognize the weight of their efforts. So, when the PvP related updates for July are more or less wrapped up, we'll be hosting a tournament to decide the strongest of each class.
Tournament?
Let's watch the video.
If it's going to be like a beach party tournament, you know, who can drink more coconut drinks, it's going to be a power move. I would love that. But I don't think they have balls to do something like that.
Yeah.
Is it time to cook?
Yes. So, this is our class championship, the Master Class. It's a tournament to crown the best of each class.
So, a class championship.
Yeah.
And there's this pen symbol in the middle.
Right.
What does that mean?
That's pen indeed. We do have higher enhancement levels now, up to deck. But in Black Desert, Prideo Tri-Tep pen is iconic. And pen is the V. It's the symbol of strength. That's why we put pen right in the center.
That makes sense. And,
Slow budget Assassin's Creed
how will we
logo.
crown the top adventurers for each class then? And can you tell us more about the format?
Sure. For example, warriors will go up against other warriors, rangers versus rangers, which will be 1v1 matches within the same class, until only one remains, the champion. Out of the 29 classes in our game, we will pick the best, the master, for each one. And with today's reveal of Wukong, there's now 30 classes altogether going forward. The class championship will live on under the name Masterclass, while 2v2 and 3v3 battles will continue in Arena of Arsha as usual.
So what are the requirements?
Since this is about finding the strongest of each class, entries will be accepted by class. However, not just anyone can enter. True to its name, only adventurers in the top 5% for gear score is in their class will qualify for Masterclass. And since the actual gear score will vary depending on when the tournament is held, we'll give you specific details as we accept signups. So, sum-up eligibility is restricted by gear score, but the tournament will use designated equipment instead of everyone's own gear. Please keep that in mind.
So, you need to be top 5% of your gear score in your class to enter, but the actual tournament, everyone uses the same gear, and I think that's pretty reasonable.
They couldn't help themselves. They needed to make it, you know, it is not gear oriented. It is not gear oriented, guys. Okay, you just need to have top 5% gear in the game to enter, but then it is not gear oriented. Then it is going to be normalized. Yeah, great. You know, be careful. Yeah, we need to make it look like it's like a skill-based tournament, but we cannot offend the whales. What if the whale would get clapped right on the tournament by some random Timmy who didn't even enhance, but he is good at the class? No. Jesus Christ.
But does this mean, since there's 5%, that means the participants will probably differ based on each class?
Yes, as you said. Participation will likely vary by class, and some classes may have less competition, but as long as the rules are clear, we still believe it's meaningful to crown a master, regardless of how many players compete. Oh, and we did consider splitting Succession and Awakening, but in the end, we decided against it. That would have meant managing over 50 classes, which would be too much to handle. So for now, we'll stick to the tournament per class. And if the top 5% rule ends up creating big gaps in participation, we'll stay flexible and make adjustments as needed. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
These are just like guidelines for now.
Yeah.
Not strict rules. But I think we're also curious about the rewards.
Yes, that's the only thing we are
I think
curious, but not about rewards for the tournaments, but like rewards now for the watching this charade. Give us the goodies, come on. Give us the good stuff. Wait. Are they flying griffins? What? You know, it would be actually cool if every player got a griffon.
And they're actually riding on it.
Yes, that's
So,
right.
Do the winners really get to ride it?
No, that's right. The winner of each class in the Masterclass tournament will receive an exclusive new mount, the Griffin. Only Masterclass winners can ride it, and they'll get to use it for a full year. Everyone will know you're the best.
Somebody
of
said,
your
"Can you
class."
hire Kakao
I
again,
just
please?"
said it. It's a top-tier mount with standout performance, so please look forward to it.
Not Kakao, dude. I have seen their newest game. I have seen how Chrono Odyssey is. Even with all this garbage. Like,
about linking item, it's about
what the fuck, guys? Stop yelling over each other.
Just like, oh, bro, it's yours.
so special.
I'm out.
Collecting taxes with your griffin.
So exactly alongside the Griffin, we're preparing additional rewards like special titles, and if possible, we'd like to invite the winners to attend our next ball in person.
Oh, in-person invite as
What a
well.
motivation! You can meet these guys on the next ball and listen to something like this live. That's a motivation, okay?
That's gonna be
So
a
it's,
while.
it's like-
Yeah.
But they are the best adventurers in both gear and skill, and they deserve the invitations, I think. So, yeah. So when exactly is this tournament?
Actually, we're going to give it a bit more time before kicking it off. We've shared the rules and rewards today, but the tournament itself is planned for fall, likely around September or October. We've got major PvP updates coming in July, and Edania launching in August. So this schedule gives everyone time to enjoy those and get ready. Don't worry, we'll share the official dates in a future notice.
And this tournament isn't just in one region, right?
Of course, each region will host its own tournament, so there will be 30 masters crowned in every region.
But if there's 30 masters crowned in each region, couldn't maybe someday we'll see a showdown between each region's 30 masters to find the world's strongest?
That does really sound like a lot of fun. We'd have to see if it's actually doable. But if the day ever comes, we'd be just
It's like
thrilled.
bold of you to assume that the basement dwellers who actually will be able to win these tournaments
Masters of masters.
will be able to leave the house to attend your Heidel Ball live. Like,
Tournament announcement.
dream on.
If you're interested, it's time to start preparing. Black Desert, I think we've held a lot of PvP tournaments before, but I do think this one is on a whole other level. Like, to everyone watching, if you're skilled and confident to take on the challenge, this is your chance. This is your chance. But I think it's also time to move on to the next reveal. I think it's time for some cool summer news.
Oh yeah, actually, last winter we introduced new content like the snowboard. But this time, I'm sorry to say, we weren't able to prepare a brand new summer event. I know we are just as disappointed. Still, we'll be making the most of existing areas like Termion and the Sea Palace to host our seasonal events.
It is, I think, a bit of a letdown, but understandable, I think. But in return, I think there is one thing we all really want, and that has to be good. Or else I think everyone's going
To eat my soup, so you don't get to watch my avatar freaking out, sorry.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Now it's time to reveal what everyone's been waiting for, the new summer outfits. Let's start with the video.
I mean, it was like the reaction. Oh look, it's a Termian. Look, boobies! Content, finally! The berserker in the... Why do you have a sweater on the... What is this? Knitted bra on the beach. Dude, why do you... Why does he have a sweater in this heat wave? It is like nice outfits, but dude. Yeah, let's like, this is content for me, okay? This is content that I can...
Everyone, was this year's summer outfit, Summer Getaway. It features a beach robe, hot pants, and a bikini.
Last year's was Badaka, and that one was a big hit. But I think this one also will be just as popular.
After Badaka was released last year, a lot of adventurers shared how happy they were with it. So our art team really gave it their all for this year's design as well.
Of course we are all happy with it, because it's a Gunner game. And we like to watch pretty ladies with huge personalities. Scantily clad.
And you can mix and match with other pieces to suit your own style.
I think even the hair looks brand new. It's pretty fresh and stylish, and there are multiple design options.
That's right.
The outfit was pretty bad looking. Which one?
For a more laid-back beach look. And for Shai, we've brought out her signature cuteness.
Alright everyone, remember, this is a limited time release, only available this summer. Don't miss it.
Hold on, everyone. There's more. There's more. We got another summer outfit coming.
One more?
Yes, let's take a look at the video.
Yeah, they know their audience, alright? Look at this! Shooting down the promised snowboarding. I mean, it's not exactly snowboarding, it's more like surfing, but look at that. Tight butts in neoprene. I can get behind that. And of course we are getting Termian. Yeah, sure. The people are more excited for this than the whole Adana upgrade.
Summer outfits.
Keep that in mind. People are cheering for this more than they are cheering for Adana.
Snowboard in the winter, duck fins in the summer. We've put a lot of details into props for this outfit. For female classes, you get goggles, ball caps, and also both one-piece and two-piece versions. Shoes include adorable duck fins and sandals, so you can mix and match for your perfect summer look. For male classes, you have shorts and long leggings to choose from. As for Shai, she gets a big water gun on her back and Croc-style shoes for that extra dose of cuteness.
Yes, this outfit looks great on its own, but what makes it extra special is that it also includes Black Desert's very first ball cap. Personally, I love it so much. I hope you all have fun styling it your own way.
저희가 이번에는 특별히 이제 볼캡도 저희 검은 사막에서 처음 좀 제작한 거기 때문에 아마 기존 의상들은 잘 믹스 매치해가지고 입으시면 좋겠습니다.
So, yes, as not said.
I think
it's a different style.
It's a different vibe. Yeah, it's a different vibe.
There's two different like costumes for the different vibes.
So, chat, you've seen both styles. Which do you like better?
One or two, chat. One being the first one, two being the second.
I think
although there's no big summer event, there's two outfits, guys. Yeah.
Seen a lot of comments after the videos.
The summer getaway outfit will be available from July 2nd to August 27th, while the ocean spray will be available from July 30th. And I think that wraps up this year's new summer outfits. And with that,
Give me a Termian beach so I can go slack and drink coconuts. That's all I'm asking for. That's going to be streaming content, streaming focus content for me.
Okay.
let's
We're getting close to the end, chat.
let's stand up.
Which
and
means
It's that time. It's that part
It's
of the
coming.
show, chat.
So from the ancient
is
stone chamber to Adania, there was quite a storm of announcements today. Now let's take a moment to look a summary and have a look through all of them. At the center, there's like the
Yeah, here's all like
a
the
timeline.
dates and
So you can
stuff
see
that
how
we're gonna get.
Adania August 6th, July 30, you can see our outfits.
Yeah.
Masterclass tournament.
Bro, you know what is sad? They can get away with this lazy ass content
There's Dine Arjunaut,
because their competition is doing such a great job at
Yeah.
and I think
releasing dog shit
the masterclass tournament
to the
in September.
point that this still
I
looks
don't
good.
understand why it's called
Like, it's baffling, it's like mind-blowing. Like Chrono Odyssey, dead on arrival. You know, Throne and Liberty, garbage. Lost Ark, garbage. Like, what else are we going? Of course we're going to play fucking Adania, because there is nothing else to play.
Honestly, like the transition is so like it's pretty crazy. Like
But I think I will say Dine Ardunatu.
our MC is now
Okay.
using that pun of Wansu's name again to make sure Wansu develops everything on time.
Delivers.
He's
W for one soon.
W for Wansu.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's not over yet. I think.
No.
Yeah, we need to,
It's almost over.
there's one more
Isn't it
thing.
time?
It's the time.
It's the time.
Gifts.
Of course. While it might not be as extravagant as last year's 10th anniversary ball, we've prepared a variety of useful items. They shouldn't be too unfamiliar, so I'll reveal them all at once.
네, 그래서 이번에는 좀 반대로 양으로 좀 승부를 했는데요. 네.
Apparently, rather than like extravagance, it's just amount. Apparently.
For this
yeah.
year's ball, we prepared items useful for everyone.
Hold on. One
Not
second.
yet, not-
Resume it.
hold.
Pause.
Oh, pause,
Spoilers.
pause. They're not unfamiliar.
Spoilers.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
So
that's
all
a
of them
lot.
revealed.
3 hammers, cool.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Hunger hammers.
I see.
Okay.
Like a divisive box plus 300, plus 250,
stones.
3 hammers. I see 10,000 next to those cron stones.
That box is a choice
don't
out
forget
of
the garment.
the Sovereign Hammer or the Charizard Hammer.
Yes.
Oh, 10,000.
Primordial hammer.
Yeah.
Wow.
So for
Okay.
this year's ball, they prepared
Oh, we have 7.
useful items useful for everyone. That's like focus. There isn't anything crazy, but
Let's
they're
see.
really generous in amount. The idea is we wanted to really show you guys.
Let's
a
try
lot.
this, okay?
And this time we do have advice of option plus
The
300.
journey
7 hammers.
begins.
That's kind of the.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So we hope we should wish everyone luck.
Okay. Flame.
To get the Dine Ardunatu, I need the sensors.
Yeah.
Wow.
But usually, like we usually like
J
show
scrolls,
reward
okay.
over time. But today we just like
Weapon
throw them all at
exchange.
once.
I think that's the name of the
Soup weapon exchange.
The journey begins.
1
I
hammer,
think
2 hammers,
this slowly
3 hammers,
brings us to the end
10,000
of our
crown
announcement
stones,
on Heidel Ball
10,000 freaking crown stones. And you show your rare hammer box.
Therefore, I
Okay.
think we wrap up.
Well,
I think our
could have been worse,
presenters
but
have-
hey.
We'd like to share a few final words with our adventurers.
Okay.
So first, Wansu.
Wansu.
네, 오늘 연애 또 열심히 준비한다고 또 이렇게 해왔는데
Okay, so we put a lot of effort into preparing this ball and hope you enjoyed it. There's so much I'd like to say, but I believe the updates speak for themselves. We'll keep working hard until the next Calfian ball. As always, thank you for your continued support, adventurers.
And Jessup.
And Jessok as well.
Thank you for listening to all what we had to share today. With
You know,
the
sometimes-
update,
sometimes
we
it
addressed
feels
some long-standing
like these
issues
balls,
and shared the future direction of
like
the game.
it's the first time
We prepared
developers
truly,
of the
but
game
still can't
actually
help but wonder
find
if
out
this
what
is
the
we
management
hoped
want them to code
for. And
in.
if we manage to satisfy you even little,
Feels like that.
honestly, I'm both curious and a bit anxious.
Where is our
As
horse? Where is
as
our
you all
free
know,
play
we
pen
release
Black
weekly
Star though?
patches with also planning for long term. Today's announcements are just one part of that bigger picture. These plans are made months, sometimes even years ahead. So there's always some
그리고
네.
Oh,
이게
wait.
이대로 끝내면 사실 뭐 보상 한판 보여드렸.
Gonna announce another
there's one
code
more.
though.
뭐 또 주려고
There's something more? One more? You think you're sad?
Of course, they always do this, by the way.
10,000 cron stones?
Really?
Oh, okay.
He's
Let's
he's like, sorry to interrupt.
Sorry,
It's like, wait,
Jessock, I know you're
Okay,
doing your
let's go.
final speech, but here's another
I
10k
He's like, I need
Kronstone.
to show you up a bit.
I know you're doing your final speech, but here's another 10k. Carry on, please continue.
So, there's...
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second.
Oh my God.
Like I think none of us even knew. Like the MC is like flabbergasted. Like what do you mean you're 10,000? Like what are you doing?
10k times 2, 20k.
Well, I'm sure it's just like I need to be the I need to have the final word.
Just wasn't even finished like doing his speech. He was in his moment.
너무 급하게 준비해서 지금
Yeah, I was in my moment as well.
Where is the next code though? I didn't get anything.
I think it's time to end actually for reals now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, today we've gone through a lot of so many updates, announcements, and it's now
Excuse
time
me?
to really
Hello?
wrap up. We've gone through Adania, the Master Class tournament. Yeah, chat. Let us know what stood out to you most,
Yeah.
and we hope you know that at the heart of every journey, you've always been there.
Yeah.
You're the true hero of Black Desert Adventures, and thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you at the next ball, but
Yeah.
thank you so much. Your support means a lot. And
Yeah.
Good luck to everyone.
Guess
who
the
is
other
going to
code
enhance
is going to be
today.
the journey
Yeah,
ends,
good luck,
right?
everyone. Chat, I
That
mean,
would be
to fair,
fitting.
yeah, you have 20k cronstones, but don't forget the hammers. Like, think about how many cronstones you get for the hammers on whatever you're attempting. That's a lot. That's insane. I only got 4 hammers? What? There was more than 4
No,
hammers.
seven hammers.
thank
Some
you.
of them, okay, if you're using the coupon chat,
All right, it's time. I think we're.
if you're
wrapping.
using a coupon, it's so basically there is some stuff that isn't going to be like
Yeah, there's
not
some
everything that
stuff
was
is
shown.
login rewards.
Yeah,
separate.
some of it's login rewards.
Yeah, so separate.
So some
the
of it
things
is
that you saw
login
on the
rewards.
right-hand
Oh yeah,
side,
login rewards.
will
Thank
be-
you and live.
Website notice.
But go check out our website notice.
And don't forget to check the recap as well on
Yes.
social media or website.
Yeah.
And make sure to share us your thoughts. And yeah, thank you. That
Yeah.
wraps up our stream.
But chat, let us know
Yeah.
what you all think, what you're all looking forward to most. We're
You
so
don't want
excited
to
hear from
know.
you guys what you're looking forward to
You
most.
don't want to know
Thank
what
you
I
very
think
much for
about
joining
this.
in. We hope we did a
You don't want to
really
know
good job
at all.
explaining
Straight up.
clearly to you guys what is coming up in the future of Black Desert. Thank you all so much. We'll see you soon. Have fun with Wukong on the Global Lab. Have fun with Wukong next week, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Goodbye from all of us.
Bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, I guess. We didn't get any new horse though. I wanted a new horse. Oh well. This wasn't like terrible ball. It wasn't great ball. It was like the middest of the mid. It's like mediocrity's approval. Meh. Good enough. It was boring. It was boring. It was kind of disappointing. Some things were good. Some things were... It kept such a nice balance that it left like no taste. The rewards are decent though. I don't hate it. Anyway. This has been Heidel Ball June 2025. I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to try to process what I just watched. And yeah, drop reminder. You should have a couple of drops for watching all this. And have fun with goodies, I guess. Oh my god. It really was stand-up today. But not like stand-up comedy, even though that a bit too, but more like the development stand-up. Reading changelog, just as Alastris was typing. Yeah. You know, I think it would be power move if they would just give us another code. You know, one would be journey begins and then the other the journey ended. That would be like all of it. I've written your quote. It was like reading changelog from their GitHub and somebody saying perfect summary of this ball. So flying to me. Anyway, yeah. Let's be done with it, okay? I hope you enjoyed the stream, even though I don't have high hopes for that. But regardless, we are going to end the stream for today. Thanks for watching if you did. And I hope to catch you later today with something more interesting. And by something more interesting, I mean we are going to be playing AI Limit or Clair Obscure or both in 2 separate streams. Most likely Clair Obscure this evening as scheduled. Because I love that game and I want to progress. I want to see the story. Show me the story. It's just taking so long. I can take the weight, but also I don't really want to push it too hard, as I have been talking about it a couple of times. That said, Heidel Ball is officially over. We got 10,000 cronstones and a couple of hammers, so that's good. I guess I will just save the hammers unless they have expiration date. For the Karazat and stuff. And I will use cronstones for my Pen Black Star offhand weapon attempt. Okay, bye.